A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, Double Dare. But first, hear this. How's the weather in your part of the country? How'd you like to spend an evening basking under warm tropic breezes in the sound of a gently rolling surf? Well, that's the setting in which you'll find yourself Friday night, as Monitor, broadcasting from spectacular Miami Beach, introduces you to the beauty and glamour of Florida and to the celebrities who make this resort area their winter headquarters. On Saturday and Sunday, Monitor will capture the spirit of Christmas season in music and song, as great choirs from all over the country and from foreign lands join in the singing of Yuletide carols. There'll be reports on Christmas preparations in Bethlehem, West Germany, and Antarctica. Alfred Hitchcock, Eartha Kitt, Henry Fonda, and Roberta Sherwood are among the celebrities who will be visiting Monitor this pre-Christmas holiday. So start your weekend right with Monitor on Friday night, and stay with Monitor all weekend long for celebrities, music, features, news, and sports over most of these same NBC radio stations. Now, X-1, and tonight's story, Double Dare.
Our ship sat down on the planet Domerang right on schedule. Kemmeridge and I stood at the viewport and watched the big Domerangi official cross the field to our landing ramp. He was dressed in a bright yellow tunic, green-gray buskins, and was wearing a glittering jeweled diadem. He was walking in that ponderous way those people always walk. And it seemed like a long time before he actually reached the ramp and climbed into the ship.
Welcome aboard. Greetings, gentlemen. I see you have come through the trip in fine shape. My name is Provash. I'm your liaison while you are with us.
My name's Marner. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Kemmeridge. Well, what happens now, Provash?
You have landed at a space port just outside our capital. I have come to take you to your quarters. We are providing you the finest accommodations our planet can offer. We want your working conditions to be of the best.
Glad to hear it.
The actual test will begin as soon as you wish. May I offer you good luck?
Oh, we won't need it. It's not a matter of luck at all. It's brains. Brains and sweat.
Very well. This is what you are here to prove. It ought to be amusing in any case, whatever the outcome may be.
The whole weird deal had begun back on Earth. And it started where most arguments like this start, in a bar. Kemmeridge and I are top engineers back home, and when this visiting Domerangi made a few cracks about our civilization being second-rate in technology, we made a few choice remarks about his own technology. Well, the thing got to the news agencies and created quite a stir. It finally led to a regular interplanetary controversy over who had the best technical brains, Earthmen or Domerangi. So, here we were, Kemmeridge and I, sitting in an alien hotel room millions of miles from home, staring glumly at the walls.
Well, we're here, Miner. We're here. And we're going to show them up and go home rich and famous. You got that?
Well, I hope we can show them.
Well, we've got to. Between the two of us, we can match anything they throw at us. Well, can't we?
Sure we can.
Just look at this door mechanism, for instance. A simple cybernetic mechanism.
Yeah. Ordinary gadget. Not nearly as efficient as our kind, either.
That's just the point. Apparently, these Domorangi aren't half the sharks they think they are. We said we could duplicate anything they showed us, right?
Yeah. And they've got two of their engineers on Earth trying the same stunt.
Okay, so if our boys stick them and we dope out everything they throw at us here, we've won. The State Department's counting on our versatility, Miner. That's all we need. Versatility, cleverness, and hard work. Yeah, we'll beat those silly-looking pants right off them.
Cambridge always did remind me of a football coach talking to his players at halftime. But at the moment, I was glad of it. I needed reassurance, and his own confidence was infectious. I cheered up, and by the next morning, we were ready to begin our part of the test. Plorvash came to see us again. Well, good morning, Plorvash.
Good morning, gentlemen. According to agreement, we have equipped our most modern laboratory for you. We will give you two preliminary problems. When you have dealt with them, if you can deal with them, we will give you a third problem.
And if we fail on any of them?
Why, then we shall have proved our point.
Fair enough. But suppose we deal with all three, Plorvash. How do we win this thing? Do we just go on with your projects until we miss?
Oh, no. According to the agreement between our governments, the test is limited to 3 problems only. The same is true for our team on your planet. We consider that if you do indeed complete all 3 projects, you will have demonstrated your ability.
I don't like the way you say that. What's up your sleeve?
Sleeve? I do not understand the idiom.
Never mind. Doesn't make any difference anyway. Just let's get started and prove our point.
Yes. I myself am most anxious to observe your attempts.
We return to X-1 and Double Dare in just a moment. Now back to X-1 and Double Dare.
The lab that was to be our workshop until we won or lost this contest was a sumptuous place. The sort of research setup a sane engineer never even bothers to dream about. We stood there admiring it, Cambridge and I, while Plorvash waited for one of us to say something.
Well, we're impressed.
Man, it won't be hard to pull off miracles in a lab like this. You're making it easy for us, Plorvash.
We are honest people. If you fail, it cannot be blamed on poor working conditions.
Okay. When do we start?
At once. Observe your first test.
What, that little plastic bottle?
The contents. It is a depilator. A bit rubbed on each cheek, and you do not need shave your beard for a week's time. Here is the bottle. Duplicate the product.
But we're engineers, not chemists.
Never mind, Miner, never mind. Okay, Plorvash, that's the first project. Give us the second at the same time. That way we'll each have one to work on.
2 projects at once? Very well, gentlemen, as you wish. The second is a trap for small house pests.
Oh, like our mouse trap, huh?
Oh, I do not know your mouse trap. But this is a most ingenious device. Our house pests are color sensitive, and this trap flashes colors as a lure. To catch vorks, we use this. For flames, we activate this device. And so on. Well, as you can see, it is most versatile. We have supplied you with an ample number of vermin of different sorts. They are in cages there at the rear of the laboratory. I believe you have everything else you need.
You mean this is all?
Duplicate these 2 products, if you can.
Okay. And we'll let you know the moment we finish.
Yes, do that.
I I didn't like the way he looked when he said that. There was a catch to all this somewhere, but I didn't have time to think about where it might be. Cambridge and I went to work on our project at once. It wasn't nearly as hard as it should have been. Within 4 days, we summoned Plorbosh back to the lab.
Do you mean to say you have finished already?
Naturally. Stay where you are, Plorbosh. I want to show you something. All right, Cambridge, activate the trap.
Check.
All right, stand back. I'm going to open the cages.
Oh, no, don't. Those vermin, they'll be everywhere.
Too late. Here they come.
Oh, but you're mad. But they'll be everywhere. Close that door.
Stand where you are and watch. You see? See that?
But this is impossible. All running to the same place.
Our traps. Look at that. They're in. Every last one of them.
Remarkable.
Yeah. We've improved on your model. We've built a better trap. Your model only deals with one species at a time. Ours handles every variety.
It really is rather surprising.
I suppose now you want to know about the depilator.
That was easy, you know. With the equipment you gave us, chemical analysis is a snap. But I'm afraid we've improved on the original model here, too.
You have? In what way?
If used at the proper strength, this depilatory of ours can last indefinitely. The effect seems to be permanent.
Indeed. This is a fairly impressive performance, gentlemen. You may be interested to know that your counterparts on Earth have also passed their first 2 tests successfully.
Oh, well, good for them. So, it all depends on the 3rd test then, huh?
It does indeed. Shall we have that one now?
Why waste time? Is that it? That thing on rollers that you've got covered up back there?
Yes. Permit me to remove that cover.
A machine of some kind. I recognize a type of piston valve, relays, tubes, rods.
Let me plug it in for you. Here's the outlet. Now, I press the starting button. So.
What does it do?
Suppose you remove the plug from the outlet.
All right.
There. Hey, it's still going.
Gentlemen, this is our power source. We use it for transportation and similar things. Duplicate it. This is your 3rd problem.
Well, we'll give it a try.
I shall be most interested in the results. Most interested. Good day.
Cheers. Well, Cambridge, the machine's still going.
Yeah, I see. I wonder, can we build a perpetual motion machine?
Well, it was a challenge, all right. A greater challenge than either of us had anticipated in our wildest dreams. Our heads reeled with the enormity of the ideas. But we worked and worked. I don't even know how long it was, but I think it was about 3 weeks. Finally, we summoned Plorbosh, and he came into the laboratory to see our model and his side by side, both humming away with no plugs in the wall.
There it is.
You have actually done it?
Yes. It's been running a week now, and it shows no signs of slowing down.
It actually works, but how?
A complex hyperspace function. We're making a full report, of course. I hope you realize this is quite a stunt in gravology.
We didn't think we could do it until we had to, so we did.
I didn't think you could do it either. This little box on our model, have you examined it yet?
No, that nearly threw us. Apparently it's tightly sealed. We didn't waste time getting it open. We bypassed that. But what is the darn thing anyway?
That, gentlemen, is our power source.
Your what?
A photoelectric amplifier that should keep the model running for, another 2 weeks. Then
what?
Don't you see? We do not have a perpetual motion machine. We have hoaxed you into inventing one for us.
What?
We didn't really think you could. It took our best minds to rig up a model convincing enough to fool you.
Well, I'll be...
That does it. That invalidates the whole agreement. Well, now that we're through, we'll take our machine and go back to Earth.
I am afraid that is not possible.
What?
By a statute in effect here for more than 700 years, any research done in a government lab is automatically the property of the Domerangi government. I am sorry, but I shall have to confiscate your project, gentlemen.
We'll see about that.
Furthermore, we are forced to confiscate you yourselves. We need you to instruct us on how to build these machines.
Sorvash, Earth won't let you pull a trick like that. This is cause for war.
I doubt it. Why should a terrible war come about for the custody of 2 men?
I demand to see our consul.
Of course. That is your right, I suppose. I will arrange it.
Well, there it was. Now that it was too late, I knew what the cause of my uneasy feeling was. The consul from Earth was a white-haired, sturdy gentleman with a ruddy face and a suave manner. He came to see us in our hotel room that same evening.
Now, please, rest assured we shall make every effort to extricate you. Do you realize what immense scientific prestige you've given to Earth?
Fat lot of good that does us now.
Well, authorities on Earth have kept me informed on the progress of the 2 Domorangi. They got through the first 2 projects as easily as you 2 did.
We already know that. What of it?
Well, now, this is the delicate part of the whole affair. I hate to put it into words, but in fact, the people on the Earth end of this deal had much the same idea as the Domorangi.
You mean another double cross? They put them to work on perpetual motion, too?
No, not quite. They rigged up a phony anti-gravity machine and told them to duplicate it.
Good night. What happened?
Nothing yet. I'm told they're working on it very hard. Sooner or later, if they're at all as clever as you 2, perhaps they'll hit on it. You'll just have to be patient and sweat it out until they do, and we can make an even exchange.
Well, of all the cockeyed situations, you mean we have to wait until they invent anti-gravity?
Now, that's the general idea. In the meanwhile, as I say, I will insist that you be shown every courtesy here on Domrang.
Well, they may never discover a workable anti-gravity. Then what happens to us?
Wait a minute.
Yeah?
Minor.
Yeah?
You know anything about tensor applications and gravitational fields?
What are you driving at?
I'm thinking of the ideal lab setup they gave us. Do you think those 2 Domorangi on Earth would mind taking credit for someone else's anti-gravity theory if they were approached properly?
Hey, that's right. They must be as anxious to get home as we are.
Say, what in the world are you talking about?
Consul, would you be above a bit of smuggling, diplomatic immunity and all that?
Well, now, I don't know.
We build the anti-gravity machine. You smuggle it to Earth and slip it to the Domorangi. Then use it as a talking point for a trade. Well, what do you say?
Well, I admit, it does seem the only way out. Very well, gentlemen, I'll do my very best. But there seems to be just one hitch.
What's that?
You still have to invent that anti-gravity machine.
Oh, we'll invent it all right, because you see, we have to. Come on, Cambridge. Let's get to work.
Fred Collins again. I'll have another word about X-1 in just a moment.
Is your head buzzing with a feverish, stuffed-up feeling of a cold? Here's how to get relief.
Every second someone takes it for the miseries of a cold. Millions more take bromoquinine. Every second someone takes it for the miseries of a cold. Bromoquinine.
More people have taken more bromoquinine cold tablets for more complete relief than any other cold tablet ever sold. Because bromoquinine is the only cold tablet sold with wonder-working quinine, nature's own miracle drug, and 5 other medicines, health-fortified with vitamin C. Science has never found a real substitute for quinine. It helps bromoquinine do more. Bromoquinine works to relieve stopped-up nose, body aches, fever, irregularity, blues, and headache, even of virus colds. Remember,
every second someone takes it for the miseries of a cold. Millions more take bromoquinine.
Get bromoquinine brand cold tablet.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine. Galaxy Magazine's science editor, Willie Lay, discusses medical problems of space travel in the current issue of Galaxy. Read Willie Lay's article as well as the many thought-provoking stories similar to tonight's tale of fiction based on facts of the future. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, X-1 has brought you Double Dare, a story from the pages of Galaxy, written by Robert Silverberg and adapted for radio by William Welch. Featured in our cast were Ralph Camargo as Marner, Ivor Francis as Kembridge, Michael Ingram as Plorvash, and Harvey Hayes as the Consul. This is Fred Collins speaking.
The magic island of Euclidia, over 4,000 miles from Los Angeles, has been the scene of many a strange experience for our friends of Mrs. Gregory's little party. Now they are once more ready to land on this artificial island, ruled by G-47 and his scientists. The small boat bearing Mrs. Gregory, Captain Bradford, Jerry Hall, and Joan Gregory is within half a mile of Euclidia. Jerry and Joan are standing at the bow looking for the island, while Mrs. Gregory and Captain Bradford are busy with preparations for their landing.
Well, Joan, we'll soon be on that magic island again.
I am not happy about that, Jerry.
Well, you ought to be. This is where your mother and Captain Bradford wanted to be.
They are very foolish, and they are on a hopeless errand.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. Tex Bradford thinks he can take over this island, and I'll bet he'll do it, too.
Jerry, you must realize that such a statement is not at all logical.
Huh? Well, what's wrong with it?
What is moving this boat toward Euclidia at this moment?
Why, that Euclidean submarine that's towing us, of course.
Exactly. If it were not for one of the machines developed on the island the captain expects to take over, he could not even reach the island.
Well, it wasn't Tex's fault that we had a Euclidean on board, was it? Could he help it if the sweet engineer turned out to be Thales?
Thales was clever in arranging to be on the boat, was he not?
Well, he wasn't clever enough to keep from getting caught when he wrecked our motors, though.
Perhaps he did not object to his capture after the motors were out of commission.
Well, maybe not. But he didn't look very happy when that girl commander took him on her submarine.
That was indeed something he did not expect.
And he'll get a lot more he didn't expect when old G-47 gets his hands on him.
No, I think Thales must know that he will be punished. Personal revenge is not allowed on Euclidia, and Thales was seeking revenge because the captain had recorded his voice.
Yeah. Hey, what will G-47 do to him?
That remains to be seen.
I say, here comes our Chinese cook. And boy, is he in a hurry.
He is a strange man.
Yeah. It's getting so I don't know anybody but strange people. Oh, what's up, Jim?
Captain Blackboard say come tell you we're near island.
Yeah, well, we know that. We can see it from here.
The eye is blind to strange sights.
Look over there, Mr. Lowe. Almost dead ahead.
Jim, look. No see island.
Well, you see a bank of gray fog or clouds lying there in the water, don't you?
Oh, sure. See foggy cloud on water.
The island is surrounded by that fog.
Island inside cloud?
Yep, island inside cloud.
That would seem very dangerous place for island. Steamship run through cloud, go smash on island. Too bad.
But on this island, steamships are not allowed to go smash. They go around.
Very good idea, if all steamships know that.
Well, they can't help but know it, Jim. This is a magic island, and ships can't run over it, even when they want to.
Jim Law believe magic when Jim Law see magic. You come now. Captain Blackburn wants to see you in radio room right away.
Okay, Jim. We'll come.
We should hurry if the captain wants us.
Yeah. You know, we're nearly on top of that island. Hey, but Joan, did you notice that we're not moving as fast as we were?
That is obvious, Jerry. The submarine commander has dropped our anchor from her magnets. We are slowly drifting toward Euclidia.
Well, I don't like to drift around in this corner of the ocean. I wish they'd send that magnetism out from the island and pull us in.
Jerry, will you go to the radio cabin as the captain requested?
Oh, sure. Come on. I wonder what he wants.
As it is only a matter of minutes until we land on the island, I should think it would have to do with the captain's final plans as to what each of us is expected to do after we land.
Yeah, that's right. You know, Tex hasn't told us anything about his plans.
I am afraid he may find it difficult to execute a plan.
Oh, don't worry so much about the captain. He knows what he's doing.
Undoubtedly. And the Euclideans also know what he is doing.
Oh, well, I didn't mean it that way.
Then say what you do mean.
All right, all right. Now forget it for a minute. We'll go in and see what Tex has to say.
Interlocking devices with your boat.
Gee, Tex.
Quiet, kid.
You will be placed at your pier by the magnetic devices as before.
I understand that, Commander. Anything further?
Very little. You have perform on the island, you cannot hope to do it in secrecy. Therefore, you will find your position more tolerable if you request an audience with G47 when you land.
I'll do that all right. That's what I came down here for.
Your reason for coming here is known to the Euclideans as well as to your own party. I have dropped your anchor from my stern magnetic fin. I will now proceed to my sub-level anchorage. You will be drawn in. That is all.
Hold on a minute, Commander. When are we going to see you?
That is all.
Now, come in, Jerry.
May I come in also, Captain?
Hey, what's going on, Tex?
Just a minute, Jerry. Why, of course you may come in, Joan, but your mother's waiting for you in your cabin. Perhaps you'd better run along and see what she wants.
To be sure, Captain. I will go at once.
Close the door and come over here, Jerry.
Right. Well, what's the matter, Tex? They can't hear us talking on Euclidia, can they?
No danger of that, but I don't want Joan or her mother to hear this.
Gee, is something wrong?
Yes, but I can't tell what it is because everything sounds all right.
Well, that sounds funny.
I know it, but it isn't.
Well, come on, tell me.
I'm very much afraid the G47 has some carefully laid plans for us, Jerry.
Oh, sure he has. That old guy probably got a lot of swell tricks thought up for us after we escaped from his island and left him flat twice.
It's more than that. I'm sure of it. G47 must have learned more about us than we think he knows.
Well, did the girl commander tell you something over the radio just now?
She couldn't tell me much, as it's a cinch they'd be listening in on the island. But she said enough to let me know that things are going to be made entirely too easy for us on Euclidia.
Gosh, that won't be hard to take.
Jerry, we know that we're going to land on that island and stay there a while in the hope of finding some way to break up this scientific group before they start out to run the world from Euclidia.
And those Euclideans know it, too. You know, they're too smart to think we came 4,000 miles to get no place, just for the ride.
Right. Now, I had expected we would be confined as prisoners. While we wouldn't be in any immediate danger, yet it would present something of a problem for us to get free for an inspection of the island.
Well, if they're not going to do that to us, what is it?
They're going to give us living quarters, the same as anyone else on Euclidia, and leave us alone.
What?
It amazed me, too. That girl sub-commander said we would be taken from our boat to our quarters in a short time, and to stay on the boat until ordered to leave it. But we are to have the freedom of the island as soon as I talk to G47.
The freedom of the island? After they kept us locked up here so tight before?
That part of it's reasonable enough. We were trying to escape then. This time we've come to stay until our job is done, and they're not afraid of our running away.
But what about all the things you brought with you?
Jerry, that's what I wanted to tell you. Tell you before we land on the island, as we may never again have a moment's privacy. I didn't bring a thing with me.
But, Tex, your formula.
Not even that.
Well, gee, I suppose you know what you're doing, but I thought you had a lot of apparatus to use on these Euclideans.
And I want them to think the same thing. That way they'll waste a lot of valuable time studying all the materials I brought along, and it won't get them anywhere.
But can you do anything? I mean, can you do anything about taking this island over and getting us back home with a lot of special stuff to work with?
Absolutely. I know my formula for the universal solvent. I only had it written down in one place, in a safety deposit box in Los Angeles. And I destroyed that when we were home. The only place in the world that formula can be found is in my head.
But what about materials to make the real formula with?
They have everything I need right here on Euclidia. Now, don't tell that to Pat and Joan until I tell you to. They might worry about it.
Yeah, they might.
And act as if everything was steady now.
Yeah.
Here they are. Come in.
We got ready as quickly as possible, Tex.
Plenty of time. They're going to pull us into the island with those magnets again.
Did you see how close we were when you came along the deck?
We are entering the artificial fog banks now.
That would mean just outside the ends of the piers.
And only about 200 feet to go, and we'll be on the magic island once more.
I can't hear the water rippling around the boat anymore. We must be inside the fog ring now.
That would be the case, Mother.
Were you able to contact that girl submarine commander who told us in, Tex?
Just had her on the radio. She advised us to stay on our boat until I talked with G47. Said that quarters would be prepared for us in the general living apartments, and that we were to remain unmolested.
Well, that's rather a unique reception from a colony that understands your purpose so well.
I think it rather natural, Mother. G47 and all his assistants are fully aware of our purpose, and they are as anxious to see the captain's formula working as we are.
I think that's it, Joan. They want me to have a chance to complete my work as soon as possible, and then find out if I can show them anything they don't know.
There's no danger of their getting your formula?
Not a chance.
Well, how about the materials you brought along? Can you keep the Euclideans from taking those?
I'll do my best.
Our best wasn't any too good when we were here before.
Oh, cheer up, Mrs. Gregory. We were running away before. Hey, look out the door. There's the island.
So it is, Jerry.
That pier looks just like it did when we first landed here.
It is now daylight, Captain. When you first landed here, the Euclideans were using their artificial daylight.
Your memory is better than ours, Joan. Oh, Jerry, do you remember how frightened we were when someone placed those glasses in our hands?
Remember it? Boy, I can still shake every time I think of it.
Well, those tricks won't frighten us again. Ultraviolet light is something we also know a little about.
Well, let's go out on deck and see what we can see.
We were advised to stay on the boat.
Well, nobody said we couldn't look at the island.
I see no harm in it.
Not a bit. Let's all go out.
Look, Mrs. Gregory, we're at the same pier we were before.
Yes, twice before. We've lost 2 boats at this pier.
And the chances are we'll lose this one.
I think it highly probable.
Hey, Joan, do you know what they do with all the boats that get lost around this part of the ocean?
I have heard several accounts of their disposition, but I believe we will see many of them before we leave Euclidia again. If we ever leave it.
Now, there you go again with that if we ever leave it stuff.
Well, don't worry, Joan. We'll get away this time. We know what we're getting into, and we're well prepared for it.
Well prepared for it? For what?
Well, for anything.
Anything. Anything may happen to us here.
Yeah, when you get near this island, well, you can feel it all over again. That sort of empty, lost feeling.
A few short months ago, I could not have understood that feeling. Perhaps I understood no feeling. And surely I had no fear of the only home I knew. But now I believe I can understand what you mean.
It's a strange feeling. That shining circle of steel, 600 feet across, with those radio and defense rooms rising out of it like huge streamlined one-story houses, and not a sound. Knowing there are over 200 people inside that giant steel tube, living their lives without contact with our world. I'm not sure I'm glad we came.
Oh, I know how you feel, but we had a job to do, and, well, this was the only way to do it.
Well, I wouldn't have come back or brought any of you here if I hadn't felt that this was our only sure way to protect each other. Jerry and Joan certainly weren't safe at home with Thales and those other Euclideans in Los Angeles. At least we have a common chance here.
I am not afraid, Captain, but it all seems very hopeless.
That's my feeling, Joan. No matter how gallant an effort we make, will we accomplish anything?
Well, it's worth trying, and after all, we didn't have much choice.
We sure didn't. But I wonder how many choices they're going to give us here.
Not many, I think.
Well, the boat stopped moving. We're here.
Yes, we're here.
Well, how's it feel to get back home, Joan?
Home? I hoped I would never see this place again.
For the third time, a boat bearing the Gregory party lands at the magic island of Euclidia. The first time, they were searching for the island. The second time, they were returned to it as escaping prisoners. And now, they have been allowed to land for the purpose of attempting to take over the island. It doesn't sound reasonable somehow that G-47 would let anyone come to Euclidia for the purpose of taking over his scientific colony. But that is exactly what Captain Bradford proposes to do. The small cruiser which brought the captain, Mrs. Gregory, and Jerry and Joan is held fast to the Euclidean pier by magnetism. There is no sound to be heard over the entire island.
Well, this blamed place has got another one of its noiseless days.
It would seem so, Jerry.
It's mighty weird at that.
It is a terrible place, Captain Bradford, and I am not at all sure we acted wisely in returning to Euclidia.
Oh, forget that, Joan. We had to do something, didn't we?
Jerry is right, Joan, dear. With the Euclideans watching our every move at home, we had no choice but to come back here and attempt to learn something of the power here.
We had seen many examples of the power of G-47.
Well, I'll grant that he's given us a number of unpleasant surprises, Joan. But if we don't do something about regulating things here, the rest of the world may be in danger.
I think not.
Well, you always think not. But Captain Bradford's right. All these scientific gadgets would be too much for the world right now. It'd mean plenty of trouble.
You don't understand our world, Joan, and your visit to it was so pitifully brief that you had no time to see it. But we feel that there are a great many things of more value than reducing everything to a science. All of the electrical and chemical wonders these men have perfected can be used to advantage by the world. But they must be in the hands of the proper people.
Sure, Joan. Well, we can't let old G-47 and his bunch get loose in the world with all the power they've got. Well, they could take over every country there is in a week.
And would that be so bad for the country?
Yes, Joan, it would, according to our standards of living. This isn't a place to argue about it. When are we supposed to land on this island?
Well, that girl submarine commander said for us to report to G-47 as soon as we got here.
I'd be glad to do that if I could find him.
I suggest we start across the island. We will be seen and stopped. Then we may state our business and be conducted to G-47.
I think that's the best thing to do, Tex.
So do I.
Right. Come on.
Hey, how about the Chinese cook?
Yeah, we'll leave him on board.
Oh, won't poor Jim Lowe be horribly frightened when some of these Euclidean guards come after him?
Oh, he knows plenty about what's happening.
I told him enough of it so he understands what we're up against.
He will be brought to quarters near ours, I expect.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to find our own quarters.
Looks that way, son. They didn't give us much of a welcome this time.
Isn't it strange, walking on this polished steel surface and not a sound?
Yeah. You know, it gives me the creeps. Boy, the deck of that old boat will sound mighty good when we get back on it again.
Which is liable to be some time. Well, what do you suggest we go, Joan?
This is strange to me also, Captain Bradford. I have never seen anyone allowed to advance to this point on the island without being stopped and questioned.
I wouldn't mind being questioned if I could only see someone or hear something.
And at least we can be thankful they're using natural daylight. We don't have to stumble around that artificial sunlight of theirs without the proper glasses.
Well, you're the only one who's got any idea about this place, Joan. What do we do now?
I believe we should proceed to the central control chamber and ask for instructions.
Straight ahead?
Yes.
All of these surface rooms are of shining steel. We can see nothing except the surface, and yet we're being watched from within.
Well, you bet we are. That steel is as clear as window glass when you're on the inside.
We should receive a warning before we proceed much further.
A warning? About what?
We will be warned to come no nearer to the control chamber.
Then perhaps we'd better stop now.
Let's go on till someone stops us.
But what are we running into, Tex?
I don't know. What about that, Joan?
347 instructed us to report to him. I think no harm will come to us until that time, at least.
Well, if we're only safe until we find him, let's don't look very hard for him.
Well, we'll find him all right, but something must have changed since we left here. Your warning isn't coming along very fast, Joan.
I cannot understand that.
Always something we can't understand. And it will continue to be that way on this mad island.
Afraid so, but one thing we can understand is absolute silence, and that's all we've run into so far.
Well, nobody's stopping us. Let's go and try the door in the control chamber.
It will not open from the outside, Jerry.
Well, maybe if we knock loud enough, somebody will open it for us.
Isn't that dangerous?
Better be careful, Jerry.
Hey, are these doors charged with electricity?
No, they are locked so that it is impossible to open them from outside.
Well, then it won't hurt anything to knock on one of them. Here goes.
That ought to wake anyone up.
You will not find the Euclideans asleep.
There's no one in that place.
Perhaps this is a trick.
Oh, what for?
Well, I don't know, Jerry, but it's very easy to suspect everything on this island.
Maybe you didn't knock hard enough.
Oh, gee, you could hear that noise all over the island.
Out here, yes, but if that room is soundproof, they may not have heard it inside. I'll try it again.
No, nothing doing.
It will prove useless to knock more, Captain Bradford.
I believe you.
But what are we to do?
The elevators will operate automatically as we approach them. Perhaps we are expected to descend to the lower levels.
Boy, you don't feel so important when they let you land like this. Nobody cares if we're here or not.
On the contrary, Jerry, we know that G47 and his scientists care a great deal. There's some reason for this.
Where is this elevator, Joan?
We are approaching it now. That small rounded dome rising from the island floor.
Rising?
Oh, sure, Mrs. Gregory. Watch that thing come up in the air.
Why, so it is, but how?
The elevator is electrically controlled.
I understand that, Joan. Most elevators run electrically. But who is bringing it up?
Oh, nobody. It's coming up for us.
How do they do it, Joan? Photoelectric cell?
Precisely.
You mean that we walked through or over an electric beam and brought that elevator up?
That is one method, though I believe this particular channel is operated by the voice directed toward it.
Oh, this is almost too much for me.
Well, you didn't see as much of this island as I did before, Mrs. Gregory. This elevator is only a starter.
The elevator is completely above the surface now. We may enter.
The door might help a little.
The door is opening.
So it is. Opening automatically, I suppose.
Oh, I guess so. Don't see anyone inside the thing.
Well, we'd better get along with it. Somebody must know we're here. They wouldn't have everything fixed up so nice for us.
We will try the various levels and determine what is taking place.
Not much room in these things.
They were designed to hold 4 people.
Well, as soon as I squeeze in, we'll have 4. Okay, let her go, Joan.
I suggest stopping at the first level.
You're the boss, Joan. We'll stop anywhere you say.
Are you sure you know how to operate this, Joan?
Well, I'll say she does. Go ahead, Joan. Push the switch for the first level, and let's go down and meet some Euclideans.
Very well.
How smoothly this car descends.
Well, everything on this island is pretty slick.
What's on the first level, Joan?
Very little of value, mostly heavy articles in storage.
Will we be likely to find anyone there?
I think we should try each level.
There's the magnets. This is the first floor.
But, Jerry, we did not stop.
We have passed that level?
Yes, I could feel those big magnets release this car, then take hold again.
Push the button for the second level, Joan.
I have done so.
Didn't do any good, though.
Will you be able to stop without an accident, Joan?
There will be no accident in this elevator.
Well, it certainly was an accident that you couldn't stop at either of the first 2 floors.
Oh, I'm not so sure about that.
There was the third level. Our journey in this elevator was obviously planned in advance.
Where are we most likely to wind up, Joan?
Either the 5th level, where the chemical laboratories are, or the 9th, in the confinement cells.
But G47's orders were that we weren't going to be prisoners this time.
I wouldn't put too much faith in G47's orders, Jerry.
We're not taking so off the fort, that's sure.
The next will be the laboratories.
And if we don't stop there, the prisons again?
Afraid so, Mrs. Gregory.
Well, I doubt it. G47 wants more from us than our company in a cell. But the first person we meet will be G47 himself.
There goes the 5th floor, so we won't meet him there.
Isn't the car moving faster?
Seems to be at that.
Yes, the speed has increased.
Well, I'll say it has. We made that floor mighty quick.
That was the 6th. You say we're not likely to stop before the 9th, Joan?
That is my opinion.
Well, your opinion is looking better all the time. And they don't want us on the 7th floor.
How can all this be so cleverly controlled?
It is all arranged in advance, Mother.
That was 8 of them.
And still we go down.
I don't see how people can live day after day, year after year in this atmosphere as the Euclideans do. It would drive me mad to be herded around from place to place at the will of one of these scientists.
Hey, Joan, we passed the 9th level.
Yes, and that is strange.
More strange than any of the rest of this stuff?
Yes, Captain. The 10th level contains only the power rooms and fuel storage. We would not be taken there for an interview.
Well, nevertheless, we've stopped on the 10th level. And if it isn't to interview G47, it may be for something far more unpleasant.
Well, let's get out and find out.
One moment, Captain.
What's up?
Do not attempt to move.
What? We're going down.
Yeah. And I thought the 10th floor was the bottom.
Joan, you look as lost as the rest of us now.
I suppose I do. I can only speculate as to what is happening.
Then speculate out loud. We've already gone through the floor. Where can we go now?
We're certainly going down.
How about this, Joan? This isn't an illusion created to worry us, is it?
What, Captain?
I mean, we're really going down?
Undoubtedly.
But where are we going?
Oh, no place I ever heard of. That 10th floor was past the bottom of the island when Joan and I searched it before.
Yes, Jerry. It was the bottom, so far as we were allowed to see.
Joan, what do you mean?
Well, she means that even when you've seen 10 levels below the water on this thing, and even when you're 100 feet under the ocean, you haven't seen everything.
We've been going down at about the same speed. That would mean we've already dropped 30 or 40 feet below the 10th level.
But that couldn't be, Tex. The island is only 10 levels deep.
The island, yes. But now I think we may expect to learn why we found all levels in the island deserted and closed to us. We are to be taken to Modern Atlantis.
Modern Atlantis?
Why, Joan, the lost continent?
No, its namesake. The Euclidean city under the ocean floor. I had heard strange tales of it, almost too fantastic to believe. But now I feel that it must be a reality. We will continue down for 200 feet, and when we leave this elevator, we will be in the most wonderful city in the entire world, Modern Atlantis.
Major trouble in dealing with an alien is that we're accustomed to certain little signs, symbols, facial expressions, tones of voice that have meaning when a human being is communicating with a human being. But we have no system of signs and no code of communication with the alien. How could we tell what the alien was thinking? You've heard a lot about the subliminal advertising recently. There's been quite a bit of discussion about subliminal messages. You know, we use subliminal messages all the time, but we don't quite recognize them. How do you know when someone's angry? You look at him. How do you know when someone's hurt? He doesn't say so, but there's some clue you get. Suppose you were trying to communicate with someone who couldn't speak, but did all their communicating by the subliminal signs. You'd never be able to say just how you knew what the feeling was.
Hey, what? There's something a little bigger down the icebox and bring him out for me and Rob, will you?
Yes, you've got
gotta be washed, Dad.
You've got nobody in there. Nobody coming. Get yourself a root beer and come out and join us. Starting to cool off out here now. Just think a girl would like to come and sit with a good-looking fellow like Rob here. Come on out, Kathy. It's a real bright night outside here. You ought to see it.
When isn't it on the desert?
What, Kathy?
I'm coming. I'm through now. Here, let's open it yourself.
Got my opener right here in my watch chain. Give him here. You got one for yourself, Kathy?
Didn't want one. Move over.
Lots of shooting stars out tonight. And here we sit, looking at them. I tell you, when I was your age, Rob, and if I'd have seen myself as I am now, sitting on the front steps of a little cafe and gas pump, 10 miles from nothing but a wide spot in the road, middle of the desert.
Oh, Two Springs, not just a wide spot, 1,500-something people.
That's counting all the ranches 40 miles in every direction, and one town clock and one town constable.
Two, Jimmy Herbert and me. And it's marshal, not constable.
You aren't but half a constable, Rob. A part-time traffic cop nights. And why aren't you back guarding the town if it's so valuable? Instead of sitting here with me.
That's all right. I gotta head back in a bit and check in at 11.
Look, there's a bright one.
What? Bright what?
That shooting star over there. See it? You'd think they was wonders of nature never seen before. Regular 4th of July light-up. I'd rather look at that many silver dollars any day. And if I'd had a decent break, I'd be looking at them, too. You kids get your wishes in before it fell? What'd you wish for, Rob? Don't need to ask what Kathy wished for. Kathy?
No, Dad.
Well, I didn't say nothing bad. Don't every woman wish for good looks?
Dad.
Now, you knew I was kidding you. I wouldn't say... Look at that one. It's coming right at us. Where? What? Hey, look out!
It went down over there.
Get that car of yours. Plain nothing. Them meteors are worth money.
Wait for me.
Somebody's got to mind the gas pumps. You stay put.
What was it?
Let me. I'll carry it. Here. Into the house. In back.
Hey, it's one of those big rubber beach balls.
I'll put it on the sofa here. Good thing nobody's stopping for gas or a sandwich right now. Easy. There. Beach ball, did you say, girl? Look again.
That hole there. Like a mouse. It looks like it's breathing.
You're darn right it's breathing. We found it at the bottom of a little drop on the wash. Out there by a water boiler sort of thing.
Acts like it's knocked out.
It's moving.
Grab it. Don't let it run away.
Now go.
It talked. It said something.
I knew it. I really got something. Something at last.
I gotta get back to town and report this.
Hold it. You crazy boy. You out of your head? Can't you see what I got here? We can get rich off this. If we don't throw it away like dumb fools.
Let me go, Harp. I gotta report. This is my duty.
Why? Who else you think knows about it? There were lots of stars shooting around tonight, weren't there? Who was around but us to see it land? That noise it made coming down wasn't much, just a bump. Nobody'd know. No one else could. This is ours.
They're bound to find out sooner or later it came down, and if I didn't report
How
this...
they knew you heard it or saw it? I tell you, it didn't make much noise. Who's to guess? So you didn't find out about it for a couple of days. Don't you see, boy? That gives us time to figure out what to do, how to make the best of it. But you listen to me. This could be the best thing that happened to us. Now, you get back to town. Go on, kid. But don't say a word. I'll keep it here. Come back tomorrow. Not early, but about the time of afternoon you always drop in.
What do you do with it?
Just keep it safe. Just keep it safe. Now, get going.
Well, all right.
Dad?
We're going to be rich, girl. We're going to be rich.
Nago doesn't seem to be very communicative. But maybe there's more communication there than appears. An alien. How alien? How dangerous? How helpful? What sort of reaction? This strange beach ball thing.
Dad, where'd you get that suit? What have you been up to all day?
Sit down, Kathy.
What do you mean, sit down? Somebody's got to watch the cash register all day. First you stay up all night with that whatever it is, and then you...
I've been at the bank.
The bank?
That's right. I've been talking to Jim Goshen. I made a business loan. We're going to make some changes and improvements in the place here.
Oh, now, Dad, you know Jim wouldn't loan the bank's money to us.
We've got a good spot here. It's a natural for people to stop at after that long haul over the desert, particularly at night. And the line of motels is a good idea, too. Besides, it'd be a boost for the town. People who stop here will go on to buy things in Two Springs.
Well, what made him see that all of a sudden?
I did, girl. I should have gone in and laid things on the line to him a long time ago. I don't know why. Before, things never seemed to go right, but now...
Well, I don't see why now should be any different.
It was finding that thing in the back bedroom there that did it. It was like a sign. I felt like a new man this morning. When I walked in on Jim Goshen, I was that sure. I was that sure he didn't have a chance. Shook me by the hand when we were all done and said, Harvey, I believe in you. Yes, he did. That's just what he did.
Dad.
What? What's the matter with you now?
Dad, I don't like it.
Don't like it? For the first time since you were born, since your mother died, we look like we've got a chance in the world, and you say you don't like it.
It's so sudden. Last night, and now this.
This is what I was born to be, born to do. I was always meant to make money, only I could never get started. Now I know how to go about it. Now, that's all there is to it. How's the thing? You looked in on it?
No, I've been so busy out front.
Let's see, then. Close the door. We don't want it rolling out of here. It wants to get away back to the thing it came in. Now go.
Dad, what do you feed it?
What? Feed it? Why feed it?
Well, if you aren't going to let it go.
Now go. Feed it? Let it go? You sound like that Rob. Oh, no. I told him to stay away from here and sit tight. Hang on to it. It'll make our fortune yet. Now go. Now go.
What's that? Who's that? Who's there?
Kathy?
Rob? What in the world? Just a minute. I've got to put on a robe. Rob, what are you doing rapping at my window in the middle of the night?
Kathy, I gotta come in.
In here?
I gotta get to see it, Kathy. Just see it for a minute or two. I'm coming in.
Rob!
Kathy, take me to it. It wants to see me. I can feel it.
Rob, are you drunk?
You don't understand, Kathy. It can do something for me. I know it can. Kathy, listen. Listen, you like me, don't you? Won't you do that for me? Just take me to it. I bet I know where it is. It's in that extra back bedroom you and your dad use as a storeroom, isn't it?
Rob, come back here. You want to wake up Dad?
Show me.
All right, but for heaven's sake, be quiet. This way. Give me your hand.
Oh, Kathy.
Stand still. I'll get the lights. Now look out. It's right under your feet.
Now go.
There it is. Yes. Yes.
Rob, don't look like that.
Now go.
Kathy, listen. Didn't you ever want to get away? To get out into the world and do things, big things, to be famous, really famous?
Oh, Rob, you come out of here.
No, wait. Kathy, I mean it. I can do it. We can do it. All we have to do is take this thing with us. When I've got it around, I feel I know how to do it. It doesn't take much money or brains. It's just being sure. And with it, I'm sure.
Kathy, what's all that noise?
Listen to me, Kathy.
Kathy, what's going on out there? What are you doing?
Nothing, Dad. Go back to sleep.
Kathy.
Now go.
Take it, Rob. What would you do with it?
I keep it with us. What else? Long as it'll last.
I'm going to find out what's going on there.
Here comes Dad. You better go talk to him, Rob.
Yeah, I'll handle him. You wait here. Keep an eye on him.
I'll keep an eye on it, all right.
Now listen to me. You listen to me. Go.
And now for you.
Now go.
Now you'll try it on me, will you? Oh, yes, you know what I want. Of course you would. I can feel you making me feel the way a beautiful woman feels. But I'm not fooled like they were, those men. I know I'm plain. You hear me? I know it. You think I could live with myself all these 19 years and let you fool me in a minute? Well, go ahead. You can make me feel it, but you can't make me believe it. Never. Never. There. You see, I won. All right now, you aren't going to drive Dad or Rob crazy anymore. I'm going to take you out in the desert and lose you where they'll never find you. You come. Good thing you aren't too heavy. I know a fine hole in the side of a wash you'll never get out of.
Nago.
Don't nago me.
Nago's specialty seems to be what you might call a promissory note. She was promising things, apparently, but, a woman is peculiar in one respect. She's remarkably practical, as well as being idealistic. And the practical pragmatism doesn't yield too well to promissory notes.
Oh, here's a place that'll hold you. I'll just put you down here, open the hole a bit, lock you down with a stone. Well, aren't you going to try once more? Oh, come now. Aren't you going to try once more to make me feel lovely and wanted and pretty?
Nago.
What was it you wanted from them anyway? From Rob and my dad? What were you after anyway? You ought to be able to make some kind of an answer. Go ahead, you can't fool me anyway. I'm onto your trick of finding out what people want and making them feel they can have it. And maybe they could have. It seemed to work for Dad. But even if your making me feel attractive would make other people think so too, I still wouldn't buy a pig in a poke. You hear that?
Nago.
All right, I don't want to hurt you. Tell me what you were after and I'll leave you here to save yourself or not. I don't care. What did you want from us? What?
Nago.
I think I can hear you. Somehow. What? Oh, I didn't understand. I didn't know. I didn't know. So I'll get you to it. I'll get you to it in time. This way. Oh, I'll hurry.
Abby!
You won't find us. You won't get you up in time. Oh, please hold on. Just a little longer.
Cadet! Cadet, I'm coming! I'm following your tracks! You all right? Can you hear me, Cadet?
I can see you now. Just a little farther.
Cadet!
Here. In with you, quick. There. I'll leave him now. I'll keep him back. Here I am, Rob!
Kathy! Kathy!
Oh, Kathy, I thought something happened. I was crazy back there. I don't know what got into me. Kathy, I don't want what I said. All I want... Oh, you had me so scared when I found you gone.
Me? You were worried about me? Oh, Rob.
But, Kathy, that thing... I gotta find it, Kathy. Maybe it's dangerous. You don't know.
It's all right. You don't have to worry anymore. She's going home.
Kathy, you let it go? But you don't know what it tried. How could you trust it to go free? You don't understand.
There she goes. Wave to her, Rob. Wave to her with me. Of course I know. We were the ones who didn't understand. We forgot anyone could think of anybody but themselves. She's a mother, Rob. And of course she'd do anything, promise anything, to get back home to her child.
Start with a preconception. But how can you tell when you don't know the meaning of the clues? Is it a warrior? A scout seeking to bring in an invading crew? A scientist? Or perhaps a lost child? Or a mother who's missed a turn and trying to get home to baby? We start with a preconception, but preconceptions aren't always right. This time they weren't.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hand, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. Well, it looked for a while as if Dr. Deutsch and his gang of spies were going to succeed in their attempt to deliver the Grayson submarine into the hands of a foreign power. The finest undersea boat in the world was well into the Atlantic, but not too far away for Superman. The mighty visitor from the planet Krypton found the submarine and returned it safely to the naval base with its captain and crew unharmed. Dr. Deutsch and his accomplice Hans were taken prisoner. And then, just as they were about to face punishment for their crimes, not the least of which was the murder of the submarine's designer, Walter Grayson, they managed to break loose. Dr. Deutsch and Hans are free once more to work their evil against peace and freedom. Where will they strike first? At the moment, they are speeding away from the naval base in a stolen car.
Faster, Hans. Faster. By this time, they know we have escaped. They're after us.
Yeah, Herr Doctor, but these roads are dangerous. There are too many curves. You see?
Don't worry, Hans. This car was built to travel at high speed. It is an official car.
How did it happen to be ready for our escape?
It did not happen, Hans. It was arranged. You will learn in this business, if you live long enough, never to trust to luck.
Who arranged it, Herr Doctor?
We have a very good friend at the naval base. A very good friend. Don't ask me who it is. There are some things even you cannot know.
Yeah, Herr Doctor.
Now, to the right, it's the next crossroad, up ahead.
Where are we going, Herr Doctor?
Back to the old hideout. That's the ocean road.
But we can't do that. They will no doubt be watching for us.
Turn, you fool. Don't ever do that again, Hans. Remember, I give orders. You obey.
Yeah, Herr Doctor, but I thought...
You're not supposed to think. Go faster.
May I ask a question, Herr Doctor?
What is it?
Why are we going back to that house on the cliff?
In the first case, Hans, we are not going back to the house.
But where are we going?
Slow down. Now, look along the shoreline of the cove where we had the Grayson submarine anchored.
Yeah?
You see that small shack almost hidden in the woods near the shore?
Yeah, I see it.
That is where we are going. Stupid police will have the house and the cliff guarded, of course. But they will never think to look in the shack.
But what is in the shack, Herr Doctor?
You will see. Turn in this dirt road.
I do not like this, Herr Doctor. We are too close to danger.
Whether or not you like it is of small importance. Have you forgotten that you took the oath to work on the master plan?
Have you forgotten that those who took the oath swear that they would make the master plan succeed or die in the attempt?
No. No, I have not forgotten.
The Grayson submarine was nothing. It is the master plan that counts. The plan to rule the world. Stop the car. We'll walk the rest of the way.
What are we going to do with the car?
I will show you. Get out. Close the door. Turn the front wheels toward the water. Now, get behind here with me and push.
The car will roll into the water, Herr Doctor.
To be precise, Hans, into 30 feet of water.
But what will we do without a car?
Leave that to me. Now, 1, 2, 3, push.
It is rolling. Push. Harder. Yeah. Harder.
Now, let it go.
It sinks fast, Herr Doctor.
Yeah, the inside is already filled up.
Now only the top shows.
Ah, Hans, now she is gone. Not even a bubble.
You will never find it down there.
You are quite right. The sea hides many things. Now, Hans, I will show you why we have come to this shack. Look over there. What do you see?
A line of telephone posts.
Yes. Marching like soldiers over the hill, eh? Then suddenly, halfway down the hill, the poles stop.
Why, Herr Doctor?
Because from that point on, the telephone wires go underground through a cable. Oh. And that cable, Hans, is directly under the shed. And where do you think those telephone wires come from?
I do not know, Herr Doctor.
From the naval base, Hans. From the naval base.
Ah, I am beginning to understand. We will listen in.
Precisely, Hans. We, how do you say it, will tap the wires. We will hear all the conversations. We will see nothing, but we will hear everything.
Wunderbar, Herr Doctor. Wunderbar.
Wait until you have seen what's inside the shack. You will be amazed. Come, Hans, down this path.
Yeah.
No one will possibly suspect this abandoned shack. There are thousands like it all over America. Ah, here we are. Notice how the lock on the door has been hidden. See, it is behind this board.
Excellent, Herr Doctor.
Now I unlock the door.
Herr Doctor, a laboratory.
Yes, a complete laboratory. Over there, a powerful shortwave sending and receiving set. In that corner, a dark room for developing important photographs we may find it necessary to take. But look over here.
Yeah?
This trapdoor leads to a deep cellar. Help me lift it.
Yeah.
There. Follow me down the ladder, Hans.
Yeah.
Where is that light switch? Ah, here it is.
Wunderbar. A telephone switchboard.
Yes. When we have found the cable, we will tap the wires into the switchboard. Then, Hans, not only can we listen here, but we can transfer the calls if we wish. So come, you're wasting precious time. Here are 2 spades. We must dig for that cable. Come now. Unfortunately, Hans, we were unable to deliver the Grayson submarine. But as I said, that is a small matter. The important thing is the master plan.
Yeah, master plan.
There are people, Hans, who may be in our way. This newspaper reporter, Clark Kent, possibly his editor, or even that Lane girl. We must be careful.
Yeah, Herr Doctor.
No matter what, Hans, no matter if it means death, the master plan cannot fail. Think, Hans. Think.
As the two enemies of peace dig for the buried telephone cable that may be a source of important confidential information, Clark Kent and Commander Leeds, head of the naval base, are engaged in conversation in the latter's office when the phone rings.
Excuse me, Kent. Commander Leeds speaking. Yes? Good. Send him right over. Lewis, the Secret Service man assigned to the base, will be here in a few minutes.
Well, how can he help us, Commander? Deutsch and his henchmen are gone. It's up to the police to find them.
I know, but there's more to this than appears on the surface. Deutsch isn't just a run-of-the-mill spy. He must have an organization behind him. Otherwise, how would he dare try anything like kidnapping the Grayson submarine by encircling it with a huge steel net and dragging it to a hidden cove?
It was daring, all right, and clever. Did you read the report on that house they were operating from?
Yes. They had a 5,000-horsepower motor fed from a dynamo. That's what they used to pull the cable that was attached to the submarine net. They're clever, Kent. Oh, come in, Lewis.
Commander.
Shake hands with Clark Kent.
Glad to know you, Mr. Kent.
How do you do?
Well, Lewis, what have you learned?
Very little, Commander Leeds. I questioned the man who was bringing them from the submarine to the detention pen. He claims he was struck from behind.
How did they manage to get a car, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, an official car with a key in the ignition.
Now, we haven't checked that through yet, but I wouldn't worry about them if I were you, Commander.
We'll nail them sooner or later.
But in the meantime, I've got to answer for that escape. You say you questioned the yard officer and he claimed someone struck him from behind?
Yes, sir.
Who was that someone?
I suppose we can assume it was either Deutsch or Hans.
We can't assume things, Kent. What about it, Louis?
Well, I don't know, sir, but don't worry your head about it. Within 24 hours, we'll have them back in the detention pen.
Men like that can do a lot of damage in 24 hours.
It just occurred to me, Commander. Who ordered them taken to the detention pen? It was my understanding you were going to question them first.
That's right. Who did order it? Louis, do you know?
Well, I thought you issued the order, sir.
I certainly did not.
Well, perhaps it was Captain Denning. No, I'm sure the yard officer told me Commander Leeds had issued the order.
And I tell you I didn't.
Well, there's one easy way to find out. Ask the yard officer. I left him in the infirmary getting a scalp wound patched up.
What's his name?
Ensign Carter.
I'll find out who issued that order if it's the last thing I do. Commander Leeds speaking. Locate Ensign Carter, yard officer. Have him report to my office at once. Try the infirmary first.
Of course, you may have forgotten having given the order, Commander. After all, there was a lot of excitement when the Grayson sub came in.
I don't forget things like that, Kent. And anyway, it couldn't have been a verbal order. All detention orders must be made out on a specified form and signed by an officer.
Well, what difference does it make who issued the order?
It may not make any difference to you, Louis. You're a civilian government employee. You can't appreciate the necessity of maintaining strict supervision of the armed forces. That must be the yard officer now. Come in. At ease, Ensign. Close the door. How do you feel?
Not too bad, sir. Outside of a headache.
You may have a chair.
Thank you, sir.
I have a few questions I'd like to ask you, Mr. Carter. I'll try not to keep you too long since you've gone through quite an ordeal.
That's quite all right, sir.
Tell me, Mr. Carter, who delivered the two prisoners to you for transportation to the detention pen?
Lieutenant Evans, sir. He was aboard the submarine and delivered both men, handcuffed.
Are you sure they were handcuffed?
Why, yes.
Just a minute, Kent. We'll come to that later. You know, of course, Mr. Carter, that incarceration in the detention pen cannot be made without a written order signed by an executive officer.
I know that, sir.
Oh, you do? And who signed the order for the two prisoners?
Why, you did, sir.
What?
I told you.
Now, hold on. Ensign, do you mean to sit there and tell me that I signed an order to remove those men from the submarine to the detention cell?
Yes, sir.
Where is the order?
I have it here in my pocket, sir. This is it.
Let me see that.
Well, I'll be... Kent, I would have sworn I never issued this.
But that's my signature, all right.
May I see it a moment, Commander?
No doubt about it. I must be getting old, suffering from lapse of memory. What are you doing, Kent?
Looking at it through a magnifying glass.
Oh, it's my signature. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, I'm afraid I'll have to disagree with you, Commander Leeds. This is a tracing of your signature. Mr. Lewis, take a look at it.
Kent, are you trying to tell me...
You've guessed it, Commander. There's a traitor right here at the naval base. Someone who forged your signature to free those two foreign agents. Possibly one of your own men.
Is Clark Kent right? Was Commander Leeds' signature forged on the detention order? If it was, who is the traitor? And how long can he work hand in hand with Dr. Deutsch and his gang before being exposed?
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. When Clark Kent discovered that a forged order was responsible for the escape of Dr. Deutsch and Hans, two dangerous foreign agents, he exploded a bombshell at the naval base. Commander Leeds, head of the base, and Lewis, a Secret Service man, were flabbergasted. It meant only one thing: a traitor in their very midst. As we continue today, Deutsch and Hans have eluded the police dragnet and are safe in one of their secret hideouts, an abandoned shack. Kent has returned to the Daily Planet office, and we find him now pleading with Editor White to permit him to drop everything else and devote all his time to rounding up the espionage ring. Listen.
I know I could track down Dr. Deutsch, Mr. White.
It isn't that I doubt your ability, Kent.
Well, then what is your reason for keeping me off this story?
Well, Kent, don't you see, we've told the whole world in the pages of the Daily Planet that you're doing a report on Deutsch and his gang for the Navy Department.
But, Mr. White, what has the report to do with letting me continue my work?
Now, look here, Kent. Deutsch is out to get you. He doesn't want that report ever to be turned in.
Well?
And he'd do everything he could to get you out of the way before you had time to finish it.
But you don't need me to finish the report, Mr. White. Lois can do that. Or you could do it. I've told both of you everything I know.
Nothing doing, Kent. You're a newspaper man, not a private detective.
But
tracking down Deutsch and his gang is a job for the Secret Service.
Oh, but Mr. White, if I did find Deutsch and break up the espionage ring, the Daily Planet would have a terrific scoop.
Yes, but in the meantime, I'd probably lose a good reporter.
Oh.
Stick to your knitting, Kent. Leave the foreign agents to people who know more about them.
Look, I know enough about Deutsch to fill a book. After all, I was instrumental in getting the Grayson sub back to the naval base.
Well, you'll rest on those laurels. I've been through all this before, Kent. I know how your blood tingles when you think of tracking down a gang of spies, locating them in some secret hideout, rounding them all up. It happens that way in books. But in real life, you'd probably end up with a bullet in your heart.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. Bullets don't bother me.
Are you crazy?
What?
What do you mean that bullets don't bother you?
Well, I just wouldn't get in the way of them.
Kent, sometimes I think you have the mentality of a 5-year-old. You just wouldn't get in the way of them. Well, what would you do if someone pointed a gun at your chest and pulled the trigger?
Why,
I suppose you'd just take a deep breath and let the bullet bounce off, eh?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that.
Oh,
but...
forget it.
Well, I can't forget it, Mr. White. I want to crack at the job. Why can't I have it?
Frankly, Kent, the situation is just this. If I assigned you to track down Deutsch and his gang, I'd be taking the responsibility for your life. I can't do it, Kent, and I won't.
Very well, Mr. White. And perhaps I'll have to continue my work without your permission.
Kent, you wouldn't...
I've got it. Hello. Just a minute. For you, Mr. White. Commander Leeds on the line from the naval base.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Commander. Yes, of course. What's that? You want me to do you a special favor? Why, certainly, Commander. Anything you say.
And while Editor White and Commander Leeds are talking, two men are secretly eavesdropping on their conversation. Dr. Deutsch and Hans have tapped the telephone wire from the naval base that runs underneath their shack.
We can hear them perfectly, Hans.
Yeah, Doctor. What's that? You want me to do you a special favor? Why, certainly, Commander. Anything you say.
Mr. White, I want to borrow Clark Kent from the planet.
Borrow him?
You hear that, Hans?
Yes. I want to use Kent as a special investigator to help us track down Deutsch and his gang.
Why?
Kent's a reporter, not a...
I've simply got to have him, Mr. White. I'm not sure anymore whom I can trust here at the base, but I know I can trust Kent.
Very well, then, Commander. But you'll have to be responsible for Kent's safety.
Naturally. Now, listen carefully. I'm sending Mr. Lewis to the planet office in the car. Kent's medic. He'll be there in a few hours to pick Kent up and drive him back to the base. We've got to work fast.
He'll be ready, Commander.
One more thing.
Yes?
Is Kent's report on Deutsch completed yet?
No. I believe he was going to write it today. But don't worry, Commander. Miss Lane can finish that job.
Fine. Goodbye then, Mr. White.
Goodbye, Commander.
Well, things begin to happen, Hans.
But, Doctor, who is this man Lewis?
Lewis is a Secret Service agent. Everything is working out to perfection, Hans.
What do you mean?
Kent will never get to the naval base. He will be with us here in a few hours.
They have a plan, then?
I do not even need a plan. Herr Kent will come to this shack of his own free will. He will come to us. You hear? We do not even have to go and find him.
But Kent does not know where we are, Doctor.
You think it is a miracle I will work? Well, perhaps it is. That is our business, Hans. Working miracles.
This is one miracle that must not fail, Doctor.
There are 3 miracles we must do, Hans. We must not only get Kent, we must get Miss Lane and her wife also. We must leave no one who can complete that report.
Yeah, but, Doctor,
It is not so difficult as it sounds, Hans. For example, there is much machinery in a newspaper office.
Printing machinery?
Yes, printing machinery of all kinds. From giant presses to typewriters, for instance. Could we perhaps get rid of Lois Lane and her wife by using a typewriter?
Using a typewriter? I do not understand, Doctor.
You are not supposed to understand, Hans. I understand, you act. Open that cabinet over there on the wall.
I will.
Now, what do you see, Hans?
A small square package, Doctor, wrapped in brown paper.
Take off the paper, Hans. Now, what do you see?
Why, it is a bomb. Himmel, but it is so small.
Small, but powerful, Hans.
It fits inside my hand. Where did you get it?
I said once before, Hans, I do not tell you everything I know. Bring it to me. This bomb is a secret. One is given to each of our agents to use in an emergency. It is a vacuum bomb, Hans. tremendously powerful. It is designed especially to wreck machinery, to be set off by the movements of wheels and levers.
Wunderbar, Herr Doktor.
Hans, this bomb should be fitted into a typewriter.
Miss Lane's typewriter?
Yes, Hans. Miss Lane is writing at her desk. And then suddenly, an explosion.
It will blow up and she's writing the report.
Yes, that can be arranged. The bomb can explode when a certain word is written. A word that Miss Lane must use in the report.
Which word, Herr Doctor?
There is one word she must use, Hans. That word is Deutsch. They cannot leave my name out of that report.
Ja. And Fräulein Lane types those 6 letters. D-E-U-T-C-H?
She is gone, and the office of the Daily Planet is blown up with her.
A magnificent plan, Herr Doctor.
Except how are we to carry it out? Is that what you wanted to say, Hans?
Ja, Herr Doctor.
I will tell you. Today, you play an important part in the great master plan. You, Hans, are a man who repairs typewriters. Do you understand?
But, Herr Doctor...
Quiet. You are a man who repairs typewriters. You go to the Planet office. You inquire which is Fräulein Lane's typewriter, and you attach the bomb under the keys. I will show you how.
I know how to attach the bomb, Herr Doctor. You forget I was once a watchmaker, but...
But what, Hans?
How do I get to the Planet office? We have no car. We pushed it into the water.
I have something better. Here, behind the radio set. Look, Hans.
A motorcycle?
Yeah. No one can stop you. You go like the wind.
Very good, Herr Doctor. I will try.
And you must not fail, Hans. Now, quickly. In the cabinet over there, you will find some overalls.
Yeah.
Here, let me help you. Here. That's right. A cap.
Yeah.
So pull down.
Yeah.
Now, quickly, the overalls.
Yeah.
Get into them. That's right.
Yeah.
And here is a little bag to carry your tools.
Yeah. There is the bomb.
Here, Hans. You must carry it in your pocket. Carefully.
Jawohl. Carefully.
Now, mount the motorcycle and get ready. I will open the door for you.
Yes. All ready.
You must not fail, Hans.
I will not fail.
Bye, Hans. Wiedersehen.
Right this way, mister. Miss Lane's working on something important, so they gave her a private office. Oh, she's not here now. How long will it take you to repair the typewriter?
Oh, about 15 minutes.
Okay. She's probably in conference with Mr. White and Clark Kent. Now, there's the machine.
Thank you. I will go to work immediately.
What's wrong with the typewriter?
I think some of the keys are bent.
Mind if I watch you fix them? My name's Jimmy Olsen. I'm head copy boy on the paper.
Oh, I am pleased to know you, but when people watch me, I become nervous.
That's funny.
Maybe it is funny to you, but not to me.
Oh, I won't bother you. I'll stand over here.
If you insist on watching, close the door, please. The office noise has disturbed me.
Oh, sure.
That's better. Now, then, let me see. Yeah.
Say, what's that little box you're attaching to the bottom of the typewriter?
The box it is a testing meter.
Oh, it doesn't look like a testing meter. It hasn't any dials.
Stand back.
Hey, wait a minute. I don't like your attitude. I've got a good mind to tell Mr. Wells, the office manager, to hire someone else to repair our typewriter.
Get away from that door.
What do you mean?
I'll show you what I mean.
Hey,
you have too big a nose, Kinder. Now, a handkerchief over your mouth. So, oh, still, you little fool. I must have some strong cord in my pocket. Yeah, enough to bind your wrists and ankles. There. You will not get loose soon. Now, into this closet with you. Now to lock it and take along the key. I must work fast before anyone comes. This wire here. And this one here. So, it's done. The typewriter is now ready for Miss Lane. All ready for her.
How long will it be before Lois Lane's flying fingers strike the fatal letters D-E-U-T-C-H and bring catastrophe? Dr. Deutsch's name must appear in the report she is about to write. And when it does, the lethal bomb will blow the office sky high. Only Jimmy knows that something is wrong, and he lies bound and gagged in the closet. What will happen?
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invite you to rocket into the future with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Stand by to raise shift. Blast off minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. As roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. In a small concrete structure carefully isolated from the other buildings on the campus of Space Academy, the Polaris unit attends its daily lecture, Astrophysics. Wearing protective coveralls and gloves, the three cadets stand attentively around a large laboratory table as young, attractive Dr. Joan Dale, one of the leading Academy physicists, indicates a sample specimen of ore in a small lead-lined case.
This ore, cadets, is extremely rare. It's only found in any appreciable quantity on 2 asteroids in the asteroid belt. 2046 and 2049. This sample came from our mining camp on 2049.
Is this ore good for anything, Dr. Dale?
Well, we're not sure yet, Cadet Corbett. It's still in its testing stage. So far, we found it has a small degree of radioactivity.
Hey, then maybe it could be used as a fuel for rocket ships.
Perhaps, but certainly not in its present state, Cadet Astro. It would take several tons of ore to reach a critical mass strong enough to produce power and usable energy. Now, any more questions? All right, then, we'll proceed with your test assignment. You understand what you're to do?
Yes, ma'am. Analyze this specimen, giving content and volume of every element included.
And measure the energy potential.
Right. Use reaction chamber 2. Number 1 hasn't been cleaned since the last experiment.
Yes, ma'am.
You'll have 15 minutes, cadets. Work fast, but be as thorough as you can. Oh, be sure to keep your gloves on when you handle the ore sample, and don't forget to use the Geiger counter. I'll be back in exactly 15 minutes.
Oh, brother, this is what I call a real dog detail, playing around with a crummy hunk of rock.
We'll get a real dog rating if we don't finish this experiment in time, Roger.
Yeah, hotshot. Get that reaction chamber heated up.
Okay.
Astro, you take this piece of ore and start analyzing it. Roger and I'll handle the reaction chamber. Check.
Okay, Tom. Chamber's ready.
Now, hand me a container.
Here. Okay, open the lock.
Shove it in. Closer. Oh, and don't forget the Geiger counter.
Sure. What do you think I am, a primary student?
If you study hard enough, you might make it, Roger.
That's enough out of you, Rockethead. Okay, counter's on.
How you doing, Astro?
This won't take long, Tom. We ought to finish the experiment in plenty of time.
Yeah, if you don't mess it up.
Me? Why, you overblown bag of space.
Hey, wait a minute, fellas. The Geiger counter. Listen to it.
Hey, jumping Jupiter, it's going crazy.
I don't get it. Dr. Dale said it would take tons of the stuff to reach critical mass. That hunk we put in the reaction chamber is no bigger than my fist.
Hey, wait a minute. You put it in chamber 1.
Well, sure.
You big jerk. Dr. Dale said to use chamber 2. Number 1 wasn't cleaned out.
So the ore is combining with whatever was left in there.
Well, quick, we've got to stop it.
Too late. Don't go near it, Tom. There's a baby A-bomb cooking up in
there.
Well,
let's get out of here.
Come on, Tom. She'll blow any second.
Hit that outer door. Quick, Astro.
Right.
Go on, fellas. Outside. Now hit the deck fast. She's going to blow.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by.
Spaceman, one of the most interesting places here at Space Academy is the Spaceport Communication Center. Now, today we're going in there for a look around and see just how they operate. Here we are, Spaceman. You know, this communication center is in operation 24 hours a day, keeping a check on all space traffic and land-to-space communication. Now, come into this room. Okay? Well, now, here's the telerecorder. Dr. Dale recorded a message to be sent to all boys and girls in all planet colonies. I'll play it for you.
Here's an important reminder to all spacemen and space girls, too. Be sure you're getting enough vitamins. Eat the right foods that give you those vitamins. At breakfast, you can get the whole day supply of vitamin D and a valuable amount of vitamin B1 by eating Kellogg's Pep. And when you eat Pep, you're giving yourself the kind of food values that help you do things better. That goes for play, school, work, and sports. So remember, for a good supply of important vitamins and a really enjoyable way to start this day, help yourself to Kellogg's Pep. End transmission.
Well, spacemen, you learned two important things today. You learned about communications, and you heard about the best breakfast cereal in the universe. So don't forget now, ask Mom for Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P. Pep.
Conducting a routine experiment in the physics laboratory, Roger makes a careless mistake and an explosion results. A blast that wrecks the interior of the lab. But the cadets manage to escape unhurt. Now, an hour later, we find them being interrogated by Dr. Dale in her office.
Well, Cadet, you certainly succeeded in making a complicated mess out of a simple experiment.
Oh, we're awfully sorry, ma'am.
Knock it off, Tom. This is my party.
Huh?
It's my fault, Dr. Dale. I put the ore sample in the wrong reaction chamber.
Oh, you did it. I might have known. Well, Cadet Manning, I don't know whether to laud you for it or recommend you for a medal.
Huh?
Your mistake has opened the way for entirely new experiments in freeing the energy potential of the ore. It was a combination of that sample with the residue of a previous experiment that produced the reaction.
Then you think the ore can be used as a fuel?
If we can find the right combination of materials to go with it. Cadet Manning, you're detached from duty with the Polaris unit.
But, Dr.
I'm going to Asteroid 2049 to conduct further experiments with this ore, and I'll need an astrogator and an assistant. You can consider this assignment your reward for your mistake or your punishment.
Oh, brother, this is a reward.
Well, I hope you'll think so after we're finished. Be ready to blast off in Rocket Scout 9J in 1 hour.
By the rings of Saturn. I never thought I'd say this, Tom, but I'm beginning to miss Roger.
Well, strangely enough, I feel the same way, Astro.
Funny. And I thought a few days without him would be a real vacation. I wonder when he'll be back.
I wonder if we'll be here when he gets back. Captain Strong sounded kind of excited when he called us.
You think he's got a special assignment for us?
We'll find out in a minute. Here's his office. Cadets Corbett and Astro reporting, sir.
Well, stand easy, cadets. Be with you in a second. All right, Courtney. Now, give me the rest of those figures on the course of the 9J. Uh-huh.
9J? Tom, wasn't that the rocket scout Dr. Dale used to go to Asteroid 2049? Yes. I wonder what's up.
Great galaxy. I hope nothing's wrong.
All right. Got it, Courtney. But if there's any further word from Mason on the asteroid, let me know.
Captain Strong, is there anything wrong? I mean, well, we couldn't help overhearing you mention the 9J. And we know Roger and Dr. Dale used that ship.
I'm sorry to have to break it to you like this, boys, but the 9J is missing.
Missing? But how could...
We don't know yet. We've tracked the scout as far as the asteroid belt, right to number 2049, as a matter of fact. But Greg Mason, the chief engineer of the mining station there, said they never arrived.
Did any of our space stations pick up a distress call?
No, nothing but routine position reports. Apparently everything was going smoothly until the scout entered the asteroid belt.
Then what happened to them?
That's what we're going to find out. Prepare the Polaris for immediate blastoff. We're going to search for the 9J, and we're starting at asteroid 2049. All right, Astro. Stand by for landing.
We get a good view of the asteroid from up here, Captain Strong.
And we'll set the ship down close to the mining camp, Tom.
I've got the spot all picked out, sir.
The control deck to power deck. Braking rocket, 1/4.
Aye, sir. Braking rockets, 1/4.
The gravitational pull of this asteroid is only 0.006. Now, we can touch down without any further braking.
The altitude, 1,000 feet, sir.
Stand by for touchdown.
Aye, sir.
Power deck, cut rocket.
Here we go, sir. Touchdown.
We're All right, boys. Pick your ship. First, we'll have a talk with Mason, and then start tracking the 9J.
Captain Strong, do you mean to tell me the 9J is still unreported?
We haven't heard a word from them, Mason. We checked Dr. Dale's course, and it appears she came straight here.
I don't understand it. We've seen no sign of her or the ship.
Are you sure your radar is in good working order?
Of course. We picked up your ship an hour ago. I'm positive the rocket scout couldn't have come within 1,000 miles of us. Have you tried to raise them on your teleceiver?
Oh, at least 100 times.
Well, I'm afraid it's only too obvious what's happened, Captain Strong.
You mean you think the scout was hit by a meteorite?
Well, this part of space is full of them. One slight defect in the ship's radar gear or a miscalculation by the astrogator and, well, there wouldn't be much left.
Maybe you're right, Mason. But we won't assume anything until we're sure.
But what can you do, Strong?
Search this entire area.
But that would be like looking for a speck of meteor dust in the Milky Way. It would take weeks, months.
I don't care how long it takes. We're going to keep at it until we find some sign of that ship. Anything on the radar screen yet, Tom?
I'm afraid not, Captain Strong. Not since we made contact with that swarm of meteorites.
Oh, it's beginning to look hopeless, Tom. We've covered an immense area. If the rocket scout hit anything while they were on course, we'd have found at least a trace of wreckage by this time.
Wait, sir. I'm picking up something on the radar again.
Probably some more meteorites.
No! We're getting a fix on a sizable mass. This could be it, sir.
Well, how big is the mass?
I'm checking now, sir. About the size of a rocket scout. We found her. And look at my screen. The signal is getting in clearer now.
I'll plot an orbit to intercept her. We should be able to overhaul her within an hour.
I'll try to raise them on the audio, sir.
Right. Hello, radar bridge to power deck. Check in.
Power deck, aye.
We're changing course, Astro. I want you to stand by for maximum velocity.
Right, sir. I'll give you all the speed you want. Have you found something?
I hope so. At least it checks for mass with the scouts. So get to work now. Hit those rockets.
Radar bridge to control deck. We're closing in on the scout, Captain Strong, almost within visual range.
Good. Cut off the radar and turn on the forward scanner. Take a speed on here.
Aye, aye, sir. There she is, sir. It's the 9J, all right.
No sign of damage to the ship.
No, sir. She seems to be holding course under full control.
Try audio contact now.
Aye, sir. Polaris calling Rocket Scout 9J. Polaris calling Rocket Scout 9J. Acknowledge. Can you read us? Acknowledge, 9J. This is the Polaris. Blast it. Hello, Captain Strong. Still no answer.
All right. Secure the radar bridge and report to the main airlock in full space gear. I want you and Astro to board that ship.
Okay, Tom. We're aboard the Rocket Scout. What now?
Well, first let's take these helmets off. Air pressure and oxygen level in here is okay. I just checked.
Right.
That's better.
Tom, this ship is quiet as a grave. What could be wrong?
Hello, Tom. Check in.
Hold it, Astro. Skipper's calling us on our communicators. Go ahead, Captain Strong.
How are you doing?
Well, just got aboard, sir.
Any sign of Dr. Dale or Roger?
Not yet, sir. Astro and I are just starting to look around.
Right. Check the radar bridge first and keep your communicators open. Maintain contact with me.
Right, sir. Okay, Astro, let's go.
Jumping Jupiter. There's something about this ship that makes my flesh crawl.
Stow it, Astro. Get up that ladder.
There's nobody up here on the radar bridge, Tom.
Okay, come on down. We'll check the controls.
Everything's in order. Set on automatic course.
Hey, this is strange.
Find something, Tom?
No, nothing. That's just it. The logbook is supposed to be in this desk drawer, and it isn't here.
Maybe they abandoned ship and took the log with them.
Well, come on. Let's have a look in the spacesuit locker.
Oh, there it is, over there.
Well, go on. Open it up.
Hey, look, Tom.
Why, their spacesuits are still in the locker. This is Dr. Dale's, and here's Roger.
And here's the emergency suit.
Boys, did I hear you right? They couldn't abandon ship without their spacesuits.
I know it, Captain Strong. That's just what we're trying to figure out.
Well, go on with the search. Take your time. Do a thorough job. Joan and Roger must still be be aboard.
We'll try below, sir. We may find something on the power deck. Go ahead down, Tom. Oh, there's certainly no sign of a fight anywhere. Everything is in shipshape order. Yeah, that's what makes it so creepy. Hey, there's the weapons locker, Astro. Let's check that.
Good idea.
Well, I give up. There's not a thing missing.
Well, that means the ship couldn't have been attacked.
If it was, Roger certainly would have reached the weapons, at least.
Well, I'll take a look at the power unit, Tom.
All right.
Hello, Tom. Can't you find anything at all to indicate what happened?
Well, no, Captain Strong. The ship's in perfect running order, holding a preset orbit. Everything's routine, except for the fact that Roger and Dr. Dale are missing. Just a minute, sir. I think Astro's found something.
Oh, the reactor pile. Somebody's removed the damping rods.
What?
It's too late to replace them. The rocket head temperatures are way over the danger mark. This ship is going to explode.
Are you sure, Astro?
Suffering Martian mice. Of course I'm sure. We've got to get off this death heap fast.
Well, come on, then.
Step on it, boys. Use the emergency airlock.
That's where we're headed, sir. Here we are. Okay, Astro, now. Put your helmet on and get that outer door open quick. I'll equalize pressure.
Never mind the pressure. There's only a 14-pound difference. We can stand that. Help me pull the door open.
I'll try it. Come on up. Put your helmet on.
Okay.
Hey, this isn't going to be easy. Shouldn't be that hard. Let me get at it. Well, come on. Hey, there's something wrong here. I'll say the door's jammed. It can't be full. No, use it won't budge. We're trapped in here, Astro.
Astro, try the emergency release.
I'm trying it, sir, but it's no good. Captain Strong, cast off with the Polaris, sir. Hurry.
Oh, I'll try to reach you from the outside.
No use, sir. It's the inside lock that's jammed. Please, sir, get the Polaris out of here. This ship is doomed. In a minute, we'll be blown to space dust.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by.
Say, Spaceman, have you got your share of Magic Eyes yet? Well, if you haven't, you'd better get going. Your Magic Eye is waiting for you right this minute down at the grocery store, inside every package of Kellogg's Pep. Now, on those Magic Eyes, you can see Bill Holden and Bob Hope of Paramount Pictures, sports stars like Bobby Riggs, and circus greats like Clyde Beatty, the Lion Tamer. And listen, every Magic Eye picture shows you plenty of action. 16 different action subjects. Collect them all. You know, it's easy to get Magic Eyes. Nothing to mail in and no waiting, because you get a Magic Eye free at no extra cost in every package of Kellogg's Pep. Now, think of it. Just get a package of Kellogg's Pep and you get a Magic Eye at the same time. Be the first in your neighborhood to collect all 16 Magic Eyes. If you get two of a kind, trade for one you haven't got. But just remember, you keep adding to your collection every time you get Kellogg's Pep. You get loads of swell eating, too, because those golden whole wheat flakes make the best-tasting cereal you ever had. Just remember now, ask Mom to buy Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P. Pep.
When the crew of the Polaris locates the rocket scout 9J in which Dr. Dale and Roger Manning have been missing in space, they find it completely deserted. During their search, Tom and Astro discover the damping rods missing from the atomic reactor motors and realize the ship will explode any minute. In a desperate race against death, they try to reach the safety of the Polaris, but they are trapped in the airlock of the rocket scout by a jammed door. On the Polaris, Captain Strong hears Tom's report.
Nothing you can do to help us. We'll keep trying to find a way out of here ourselves. Tom's right, Captain Strong. You can't risk the Polaris.
All right, men. Listen. I'll move the ship off about 1,000 yards. That should be far enough to escape the blast. When you can get out, push yourselves off into space, and I'll pick you up. Is that clear?
Yes, sir, but so far we're not having any luck forcing this door.
What about the emergency toolkit?
Why, that would be in one of the desk lockers, I suppose. But we never have time to get back.
Tom, listen. That model ship has a small tool compartment in the inside bulkhead of the airlock, and there's sure to be a cutting torch in the kit.
Hear that, Astro? Yes, I'll look for it.
If the torch is there, you should be able to cut around that catch lock in a matter of seconds.
Skipper was right, Tom. Here's the torch. Fire it up. Quick, here we go. Stand away from that lock, Tom.
Work fast, Astro.
He's doing fine, Captain. Hey, Tom, the catch is beginning to give. A little more to the left now. Oh, that did it. Pull the door open now. Hey, Captain Strong, did you hear that? We're shoving off into space. Stand by to pick us up.
Get moving. I'm ready.
All right, Astro. The door's open. Now shove off into space as hard as you can push. Here goes! Hammer at your heels!
Tom.
Oh, Captain Strong, what happened? Explosion.
You're all right, Tom. So is Astro. You cleared the ship just as she exploded. The blast hurled you both out into space like a couple of rockets. I had to use radar to find you.
Well, the force of the blast must have knocked us out. Gosh, I'm still a little dizzy.
You'll be all right now, Tom. How are you making out, Astro?
Fine, sir. I must have been a little farther from the ship when she blew.
Thank the universe you were both far enough.
But, sir, we're no closer to a solution to this mystery than we were before.
You're sure there wasn't a single clue on that ship to indicate what could have happened to Joan and Roger?
No, sir. Nothing at all. You should have seen it. Captain Strong, it was weird.
Enough to give you the creeps, sir. A completely deserted ship and yet no signs of a fight or anything.
Well, they couldn't have gotten off alive without their spacesuits.
Hey, if you leave the radio open, sir, that sounds like some kind of static or interference.
That's funny. There shouldn't be any static in this area.
Well, I'll check it, sir. Hello? Hello, this is the Polaris. Hello. Come in, please.
Polaris?
Listen, that sounds like Joan. Dr. Dale, is that you? This is Tom Corbett on the Polaris.
Tom, can you read me?
Well, just barely. Can't you step up power?
No, listen carefully.
Joan, this is Steve. Are you all right?
Steve, so far, but listen.
Go ahead, Dr. Dale.
Roger and I are on Asteroid 2049. Can you hear that?
Yes, on 2049. Go ahead.
We're in danger, great danger. Get here as quickly as you can.
Hey, she stopped transmitting. Yeah, but did you hear what she said, sir?
I heard it. Man your stations, cadets. Set course full space speed for Asteroid 2049.
Don't miss the next action-packed adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, on Thursday, when the crew of the Polaris attempts a dangerous rescue in space in Part 2 of The Asteroid of Danger. Tune in, same time, same station on Thursday for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal. Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in the cast were Al Markham, Jan Merlin, Edward Bryce, and Margaret Garland. Today's program was written by Gilbert Braun and directed by Drex Himes. Jackson Beck speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret. Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret.
And what a secret! In Kellogg's Raisin Bran, the tasty raisins are dipped in honeycomb. That means plumper, more tender raisins, along with delicious golden crisp bran flakes. Both fruit and cereal all in one box. And no other raisin brand but Kellogg's gives you the tender goodness of raisins dipped in honeycomb. That's Kellogg's secret. So your breakfast, make sure you get Kellogg's, because
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret.
this is ABC, the American Broadcasting.
You, finding life pretty dull? Dreaming again of exotic places? Wishing you were somewhere else? We offer you escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Escape with us now to a train rushing through a European night and a beautiful woman who demands your help, as Anthony Ellis tells it in his exciting story, Roulette.
Le numéro 12, au noir. Ah, ben alors, c'est bien, ça, je vous dis franchement,
Well, I'm afraid I haven't done in, Mr. McLennan.
Nay, laddie, let me...
Oh, thanks awfully, sir, but no.
Assuredly, it's against the laws of nature that the good Scot should gamble in the first place, so a few francs lent will only increase the McLennan clan's aggravation. You'll oblige me?
Very decent of you, Mr. McLennan, but I really couldn't.
Will you be leaving Monte Carlo?
Yes, Paris for 2 or 3 days, then the holiday's over.
Oh, you have the fare?
Yes, thanks.
Good. I expect to go to Paris myself in a couple of days. If you're still there, I wish you'd give me a ring. George Sand.
Oh, I shall. Well, good luck at the wheel.
Roulette. The game for idiots, except I cannot lose. Good luck to you, Richard.
I'd been spending the summer holidays on a cycling tour of France. Father had insisted. Said it was part of my education. After 3 weeks, I'd seen half the cathedrals in the country and had developed a healthy loathing for bicycles as well. So, when I reached Avignon, I sold mine to a chap who was obliging enough to pay me far more than the blasted thing was worth. I knew the family at home would be terribly upset. But after all, I was 20, and I thought it was about time that they realized it. Trinity College was then 2 weeks away, and I decided, with the bicycle money, to have a lark in Monte Carlo. That's where I met Mr. McLennan. He was awfully decent, showed me about the place and chucked money about marvelously. I thought he was probably in some sort of black market business because he seemed quite hush-hush about everything. I had smashing luck the first 2 or 3 days at the casino, and then, well, as Father always said, gambling weakens the mind as well as the purse. When I left the roulette wheel that evening, I had just enough money for fare to Paris and home. There was a breeze blowing from the Mediterranean as I walked to my hotel. It was lovely, and I didn't have a care in the world.
Monsieur, please.
What?
Please, may I speak to you for a moment?
Oh, I say. Me? Oh, I say.
I must talk to you.
Really?
I was watching you tonight at the casino. You lost your money, didn't you?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
What would you say if I told you you could get it back and more? 50,000 francs.
50,000?
Please, we cannot talk here. Is there somewhere?
Well, yes, there's a cafe across the street.
No, it's too dangerous. Somewhere that people are not.
That people are not?
You are at a hotel.
Oh, yes. But wouldn't that be rather... Well, I mean...
You must trust me. I'm in desperate danger. Please, hurry. We will go to your hotel.
It was a devilish awkward situation. I mean, taking a girl to one's hotel room, it simply isn't done. And I hated to think what Father would say. On the other hand, one couldn't let a lady down. Especially her. She was beautiful. She was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. And she was very frightened.
I will have a drop of brandy, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. Would you like to take your coat off?
In a little while. I'm cold.
Well, you'll feel better in no time. Here we are.
Thank you.
I say, that's quite good. It always chokes me to do that.
You're being very kind, Mr.
Oh, I'm frightfully sorry. My name is Richard Ferris.
I am Tina Vallon.
What a charming name. I mean, it goes, rather.
It is not my true name.
Oh?
Mr. Ferris, I do not wish to sound melodramatic, but I need help so terribly.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. Really, I am. If there's anything
but there is. I must go to Ankara.
Turkey?
It is of the utmost importance. And there are men who will stop at nothing to prevent me.
But why? I mean...
I cannot tell you.
Well, what about the police?
I cannot go to them. There would be questions which I may not answer.
Oh, I see.
Mr. Ferris, when I saw you this evening at the casino, I said to myself that here was a man I could trust. He's young, English, and a gentleman.
Oh, I say.
But he has lost his money at roulette. I will make it a business transaction, Mr. Ferris. Take me safely to Ankara, and I will give you 50,000 francs.
Well, I'd love to, really, but... Well, you see, next week I have to be in school. Well, that is college. Trinity. Cambridge, you know.
Here, Mr. Ferris. Richard. 10,000 francs. The rest at Ankara. Please.
Well, it's not the money. Really?
Don't you see? They might not dare if someone like you were protecting me.
Well...
Take the money. It is a business transaction. Take it. I beg you to do this for me.
Well, I feel like a cad, taking money from... Well, I mean... She was very close to me, and I saw that she was quite a bit older than I was. 26, possibly 8. Oh, but very beautiful. I realized how serious the thing was. After all, it could mean life or death to me, too. One must be practical, so I took the money. I packed my traveling case, and together we left the hotel. On the way to the station, I bought a pistol, as it seemed the thing to do. Tina had decided to take the train as far as Genoa, and then change for Naples, where we could catch the boat for Turkey. If someone was following us, he didn't allow himself to be seen, and we managed to find ourselves a compartment alone. Well, here we are. You comfortable?
Yes, thank you. Would you be kind enough to draw the shades?
Rather. I say, Miss Bellon.
Please call me Tina.
Tina? Here. Have a look out of the window for a sec. There's 2 chaps standing outside.
Draw the shades, quickly.
Nasty looking. Are those the ones?
Yes. I hoped that we could escape them. They will be on the train now.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
At what time do we arrive in Genoa?
2:15. That's tomorrow morning. We have a 10-minute wait before the Naples train leaves.
I do not think that they will attempt anything while we are still in France. But once we cross the border...
Look here now. You're going to be absolutely safe with me. I don't want you to worry. I may look young, but I've had a great deal of experience. That is, well, I play rugby at school, and well, I can manage things perfectly.
I'm sure you can, Richard. That is why I wanted you to help me.
We settled down for the run to Genoa, and Tina dozed off. I just sat and looked at her. She was very lovely. Everything about her. I couldn't make up my mind where she came from. Oh, not that it mattered. But I wondered for a moment if Father would have approved. After all, she wasn't English. We'd been traveling for about 2 hours and a half when the trouble began. Yes?
Mr. Ferris?
Yeah? Who is it?
May I have a word with you, please?
I should say not.
It would be advisable.
Now hop it, or I'll ring for the conductor.
This is not your concern, Mr. Ferris. We have no desire to harm you.
Oh, I'll bet you haven't.
Just tell the lady that it is a long way to Ankara.
Have they gone?
Yes, I think so.
They will try again.
Look, it really isn't any of my business, I suppose, but... Well, what is it you've done? Why should they want to kill you?
Let us say that I know something that is very important.
But you're so... Well, I mean... Well, how did you ever get into a muddle like this?
For love, Richard.
Oh.
Of my country.
I think that a man would be very fortunate if you ever loved him enough to have a look like that in your eyes.
Perhaps someday I shall look at a man like that. You're sweet, Richard. Now I want you to have some rest. If anything happens, I'll wake you.
Oh, I say I couldn't. But they may try.
I don't think so. But if they do, I have this.
I say, you're not afraid of anything, are you? Well, night-night. Wake me up when we get to Genoa.
Hello. You look rested.
Hello. Anything stirring?
While you slept, I have been thinking.
What?
This is a great deal that I ask you to do for me. Even for 50,000 francs.
Oh, but I wanted to.
If you wish to turn back when we reach Genoa.
I wouldn't think of it.
I will not think of you as a coward. It is not your affair. And You are in danger, too.
As you said, it's a business arrangement. 50,000 francs? I'll take you to Ankara.
Is it so easy to put a price on your life?
No, but I wouldn't want you to be harmed.
You are a very odd young man, Richard Ferris.
Oh, I'm not really so young, you know. I just look it. Oh, hello, we're in. Come along. We've got to get that Naples train. Now stay close behind me. No, thank you. Can you see them? No. Well, we'll follow the crowd. I don't think they'll try to stop us as long as we're with people. It happened very quickly. We were crossing the station to the platform where the Naples train was standing. Suddenly, from somewhere out of the crowd, a man lurched towards us. He took me unaware, and before I knew it, he was just moving to the side.
So sorry. How clumsy of me. Allow me to pick up your portmanteau.
As he bent down, the blighter hooked an arm around my leg, and I was down.
Mind your business, you fool.
I will. And you, sir, mind yours. It was a frightfully stupid thing for me to do, and obviously what they'd hoped for. In half a tick, a Gilbert and Sullivan constable appeared. But there was nothing comic opera about the way he took me in charge. I was manacled and on my way to jail. And in 7 minutes, the Naples train was to leave. I looked about wildly for Tina, but she was gone. And so was the man I had knocked down.
CBS wishes to remind you that 2 of its top comedy shows have returned for another great season. The Sunday night Amos and Andy and Red Skelton shows. Both programs are heard on most of these same CBS stations. Be listening tonight and every Sunday night this season for Red Skelton and Amos and Andy at CBS, the Star's Address. And now we return you to Escape.
I was taken to a booth at the end of the station and brought before a gentleman dressed in a uniform that I judged to be at least that of a general. The arresting constable spent 2 minutes pouring out my crimes, whilst the general, who looked like a bandit, but spoke like one of my professors, listened.
So, and your name is Richard Ferris?
My dear sir, my passport says so. Now, can't I pay the fine? It's ever so urgent that I catch the Naples train.
Ah, you English. What would you do if there was no where to go?
I hardly see that it concerns you.
You are not serious, my young friend. This is a serious matter. One cannot stride around Genoa striking innocent citizens.
Innocent? Well, I'll be blowed. He asked for it. Now, why wasn't he arrested, I should like to know?
Yours was the offense for striking without provocation.
Without? All right, then. All right, I'm sorry. I was wrong, quite wrong. But the train, now let me pay the fine. Anything, please. I must catch that train.
One must consider the magnitude of the offense.
Don't you understand? It's a matter of life and death.
Life and death?
Well, not exactly. You see, it's my wife. Yes, my wife. Oh, we're on our honeymoon.
But why did you not tell me this before? It makes a difference.
Well, in 2 minutes it won't. Not if I miss the train.
50 lire fine. And a warning.
50 lire. How much is that in francs?
Frank, let me see. The rate of exchange
well,
now...
Here you are. 500. That should manage. And thanks most awfully. You're very kind. It must have been enough, because they didn't shoot at me as I ran back down the station and to the Naples train platform. I looked at the station clock. 1 minute. I didn't want to take a chance of getting aboard, and yet Tina might have. I dashed to the waiting room, and as I did so, I saw the 2 men through the window. They were pacing up and down inside, back and forth before a door. It was the ladies' lounge. Devilish clever girl. I should have known she would manage alone. And at that moment, as the whistle blew, she ran out. Tina, this way. Don't be afraid. They won't dare. You see, they've slowed down already. They're pretending not to see us. Hurry up. Any carriage will do. We'll find our own once we're aboard.
Richard, you would have been better off with the police.
Oh, not me. There we are. Look at your friends.
Yes, but I'm afraid we haven't got rid of them so easily. How did you manage to get away from the police?
It was simple. I said we were on our honeymoon.
Oh. Now that you are here, I'm glad.
Well, I couldn't let you down, you know. Well, I'm awfully keen about you, you see.
I understand. And I want to tell you something, because I trust you.
Yes.
If I do not reach Ankara, it is possible that you will.
Oh, no, you mustn't even think of that.
They will try to stop us again, possibly before we get to Naples, but most certainly on the boat. Perhaps they will not succeed, but if I cannot, I want you to take a message for me.
Righto. Count on me.
You must go to the Ministry of War. There is a man there named Badis. Tell him you come from me.
Yes.
Tell him that the blow must fall no later than the 9th. The place will be Ressuline.
Only that?
Richard, what I have told you is the information that can mean death for both of us.
Ah. And that's why they want to stop you. Because of that message.
A message which means defeat for our enemies.
What bounders? I mean the chap sending someone like you to do their dirty work. Oh, why couldn't you write or send a cable?
There are people in our government who are not to be trusted. If the message fell into the wrong hands...
Yes, I see.
Now you know.
By Jove. You really are. You're quite a girl.
And you, Richard, are quite a man.
It was somewhere between Campiglia and Grosseto that the emergency cord was pulled and the train came to a stop. I looked through a crack in the drawn shade. It was dark outside, but 100 yards away, I could see the headlights of a car, and moving toward the train, 3 or 4 bouncing dots of torch beams.
What is it? Can you see anything?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. We're in for it.
What do you think we ought to...
Wait.
Signor, this is the conductor. Open, please.
We'll have to use the window. Come on.
Signor!
I'll go first, then you jump. I'll catch you. Righto, jump!
The car over there. There's a searchlight.
Duck down. Now, those bushes, down the line. Try not to make any noise. Oh, that's torn it. Come on, run! As we ran, I heard a voice shouting for us to stop, and another telling them not to shoot. Now, that was strange, and I wondered why they wanted us alive. We kept going until we found a dirt road about a quarter of a mile away. It was very dark, but through some trees I saw a glimmer of light that looked like a house. We stumbled across a field to it.
It is going to be difficult. They must know the country. Well,
if I can rouse someone at that farm, I'll get our bearings.
Is it wise?
There's no other way. You might find a car there.
Wait a moment.
What's the matter?
I thought I heard. There, you see, coming up the road.
Like hounds and hares, eh? Well, they can't drive across the field. Come on.
Would it be wiser if we parted? One of us should have a chance to get through.
Not yet. Oh, blast. They must have seen us. You all right?
Yes.
Oh, if we could just get a car.
Look. Behind us, torches.
3, 4, 5. Possibly one stay behind in the car. Their friends have got quite an army.
What are we going to do?
I don't know yet.
Sì, cosa vuole? Cosa vuole?
We need help. Have you got a car?
Lo capisco, signore, no?
Oh, these foreigners. Look, do you see this? A gun. Bang, bang. Do you understand?
Madonna mia!
So look, you say nothing. You haven't seen us.
Cosa? He doesn't understand.
Well, he knows what a gun is. That's all that matters. Come on. We'll stay behind this door. If he makes a sound... You there. Quiet. Say nothing. Shh. You may have to use guns, Tina.
I'm ready.
Idiot, why don't they open it? Open! Open! Yes, that's right.
Via Cherry, senor. Here, come per due omine. Ho visto qualche persona?
Due persone? No, non se ne stanno qui, no.
Una signora e un signore inglese.
No, nessuno.
Una spia. Può avere sua permissione di cercare?
Ma le ha dato, non sono nessuno, signore.
Forse sono. Voglio cercare?
Sicuro, sì.
Grazie, buonanotte.
Buonanotte, signore. Buonanotte.
Oh, good chap. Thanks. Here you are. I hope we didn't inconvenience you.
Ma cosa fa? Andate via, per piacere.
Tina, have a look through the curtains, will you?
I can see two. No, 3 of them. Moving on.
The others may have gone to the back. Signor.
Sì.
Do you own a car?
Ma cosa? Non capisco, signore.
What is my Latin? A car. Do you follow?
No, signore, no, non capisco.
They're gone. I can't see them now.
Well, we better make a run for it. If we can reach their car before they do, we might have a chance. I say, blow out the lamp before I open the door, will you? We mustn't attract any attention here. Yeah, that's it. Well, off we go. Now remember, no sound, signor. Bang, bang, if you do.
Molto bene, signore. Sì.
You ready? Yes. Right. It was as easy as pie. They must have believed the old boy's story, because as Tina and I doubled back across the meadow, we saw a couple of torches bobbing about near the barn. A question now seemed to be, did they have a man guarding the car? We came to the road and stopped.
There, I see one. Watch. You can make out the cigarette. He's leaning against the mud guard.
Yes. Oh, stay here, Tina. It's all right, Tina. Put him to sleep. Hop in.
Put up your hands, buddy boy, and you too, miss. We want to have a little talk with you both.
The searchlight had been switched on and was blinding, but I could hear well enough, and I knew that voice. It was Mr. McLennan, my friend in Monte Carlo. Mr. McLennan. Well, now I understood why they let us escape from the farmhouse so easily.
You haven't been in the business as long as I have, Richard. I knew the old man was lying about not seeing you, and I expected you tried to get her motor. You did.
Well, what do you intend to do?
Ask the young lady. She knows.
Oh, it's going to be that, eh?
You should have known better. But I'm sorry you got yourself concerned in the matter. I rather liked you.
Look here. I've got some money. Why not let her go? You can hold me.
Oh, you are a very young man, aren't you? We're not interested in you, Richard. It's the girl we're after. I suppose she's told you, though.
Told me?
Of course she has.
Oh, what a scoundrel you are. A renegade Englishman. What difference does it make to you whose side you're on? You're being paid. Well, we'll pay you, too.
Man, you don't understand. It matters a great deal whose side I'm on. She told you to take a message to the man in the Ministry of War if she didn't get through.
No.
What's his name?
This is absolute Tommy Rock.
Oh, what a porridge head. Ask your friend where she comes from.
It doesn't make the slightest difference.
Oh, then let me tell you. She's Romanian, Maria Olescu. We've been after her for 3 years. You're the one who's working for the wrong side. Poor chap you bashed on the head is a Turkish military agent. So were the men on the train.
You expect me to believe that?
I don't care whether you do or not. But here, have a look at my card if you like.
Alistair McLennan, military intelligence, British warden.
Well?
It's a fraud.
Why do you think we didn't have the police stop you both in general? We couldn't, because this thing you've got by the tail is too big. It mustn't get out. You know what war is, Richard.
Do you expect me to answer that?
If your message gets through, we may have one. Very soon. Our department thinks that this girl has the word for the assassination of someone in Turkey very high up. You have that message, too, haven't you? Haven't you?
Tina?
It's all true, Richard. Everything that he says. It's too late now, anyway. I'm sorry.
But, Tina, you mean that all this time...
What was the message?
Well, I was supposed to contact a man named Bardiz and and say that the blow must fall no later than the night. The place will be Ressolin.
He did not know, Mr. McLennan. Please, believe me. I told him that you were trying to prevent me from reaching Ankara. He didn't know.
I'll take your word for it. But we'll have to hold him until after the 9th, just to be on the safe side.
I say, Mr. McLennan, you must think I'm an awful fool.
No, laddie boy. Just awfully young. Next time you'll know better than to help a beautiful woman in distress.
They took us back to Paris. And during the whole journey, Tina didn't speak a word. Just looked out of the window. I thought of my family, of Trinity College, and England. But none of them seemed particularly important now. Only she seemed important. And I wondered what would become of her. And then, as they took Tina away, she turned to me and smiled. It was a smile that I'd seen only once before, when she spoke of love of her country. But this time, she was looking at me.
Escape is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Today we have brought you Roulette by Anthony Ellis, with Terry Kilburn starred as Richard. Featured in the cast were John Daner, Alberto Morin, Georgia Ellis, Lou Krugman, and Edgar Barrier. Special music was arranged and played by Ivan Ditmar.
Next week, escape with us to a puppet kingdom in the heart of the Belgian Congo, and a man who challenged that kingdom because of a dream.
Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy check in at CBS, the Star's address, tonight, bringing with them their very special guest, Jane Wyman. Stay tuned now for Make Believe Town, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. James Matthews speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy have joined airlocks with a spaceship in which two criminals are holding Carol captive. Although the outlaws have meekly surrendered over the spaceophone, Buzz is still wary.
I'm going to open the inner hatch, Happy. Have your ray gun ready.
Yes, sir. You got us, Commander, with our hands up.
Keep them that way.
You can put those guns away, because you can't see.
Happy, the lights.
They're blinding, Commander. Well, let them have it, Rambo. They can't see. They're helpless.
We'll be back in just a moment with today's Space Patrol adventure, a Cosmic Ray Detector. Gang, it's terrific. It's sensational. It's new, different, thrilling. It'll pop your eyes wide open in amazement. It'll have you whistling like you never whistled before. It'll have you yelling with excitement because, gang, this is it. The swellest regulation Space Patrol equipment you ever had the chance to own. I'm speaking of the Space Patrol Pocket Projectoscope. What does it look like? What does it do? How can you get it? Well, gang, I have the answers. It's a model of Buzz Corey's rocket ship Terra 5. It's 6 inches long. It has 4 big tail fins. It has a 1-inch radar antenna. It's made of beautiful blue and yellow plastic. What does it do? It blinks on and off rapidly. Flash, flash, flash like a real signal light. It throws a steady beam of light like a real flashlight. It shows pictures on the wall like a real film projector. Complete with bulb and battery. Complete with film containing 4 Space Patrol adventures. Now, you put this film in your projectoscope, you darken the room, push the radar antenna, and there on the wall, you get a picture. To show a whole adventure, slide the film from picture to picture. Loads and loads of fun, and nothing like it ever before. Gang, to get a projectoscope, do this. Buy a box of rice checks or wheat checks. Then, with your name and address, send 35 cents in coin and a rice checks or wheat checks box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. This offer good only in the USA and may be withdrawn at any time. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, the Cosmic Ray Detector. In Commander Corey's central office at Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, Cadet Happy is checking through a file of search mission reports from the Venus Command as the Secretary General's daughter, Carol, enters.
Hi, Happy. Oh, hello, Carol. Hey, that's some outfit.
Like it? Dad got it for me especially for this trip to Jupiter.
Hey, it looks great. What time does your ship leave?
In about an hour. I'm going on the SS Space Queen.
Traveling in style, eh?
Well, I wanted to fly my own ship. But Dad talked me into taking the passenger transport. Is the commander around?
Oh, he stepped out about a half hour ago. I don't know when he'll be back.
Gosh, I hope he didn't forget.
Say, that reminds me. He said this folder was for you.
Oh, good. It's the data for my talks at Jupiter University.
What are you going to talk about?
Opportunities for youth in interplanetary government service.
Well, that shouldn't give you any trouble.
Well, I imagine the commander's notes in the Space Patrol will be a big help. Well, I'd better get over to the spaceport and see what's happened to my luggage.
Okay, Carol. Good luck.
Thanks, Happy. Oh, and thank the commander for these notes.
Oh, sure.
How are you doing, Happy?
I'm nearly finished filing the reports now. Oh, Carol was just here. She got the notes all right.
Good. You can finish that job later, Hap. We've got to get over to the spaceport.
Something wrong, sir?
Yes, Happy, there is. One of our agents was on his way to the security lab with some of those new cosmic ray detector units. He was waylaid and slugged. The thief got 6 of the units and a copy of the formula.
Fucking rocket.
Our agent got a brief glimpse of the man who slugged him. He's not positive, but he thinks the thief might be Dolph Rambo.
Dolph Rambo? Now, where have I heard that name before?
Rambo's been questioned a couple of times in the past in regard to some gem swindles. He couldn't make anything stick.
So now he's branching out into cosmic ray detectors, huh?
If it is Rambo who did it, I think he'll try to get the detector units off Terra as quickly as possible. I have an extra detail at the spaceport now. Let's get down there and look around.
Oh, excuse me. Could you tell me where the interplanetary transport ticket office is?
Yes, I'm headed that way myself. Follow me.
Why, thank you.
Got the detectors, Hinckley?
Yes, in a jewel case right here in my pocket. No one's watching. Hand it to me. Better be careful, Rambo. The terminal is swarming with Space Patrol men.
So what? Think you fixed the detectors into a necklace the way you planned?
Yes, and it's a beauty. It would take an expert to tell the real gems from the ray detector crystals.
What about the formula?
It's hidden under a false bottom of the jewel case.
Slip it to me. In 10 minutes, I can be aboard the spacecraft.
I think these Space Patrol agents are looking for somebody. If they get suspicious, they'll hold the gems for a careful examination.
But they wouldn't hold me, Hensley. I've got those identification papers you fixed for me showing that I'm a representative for Jupiter Gem Importers.
It's too big a risk, Rambo. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone who's getting on the ship was thoroughly searched.
So what are we going to do? Stay here on Terra?
Ah, that's risky, too. Hey, look over there. Isn't that Carol Carlisle, the Secretary General's daughter?
Where?
Over there, checking her luggage.
Yes, it is. Looks like she'll be aboard the Space Queen, too.
Well, now, I doubt very much if her luggage would be filled.
Now, what do you mean?
Just this. You go on ahead. I'll wait here. And as soon as I can, I'll slip the jewel case into one of her suitcases. And after the ship gets to Jupiter, you can steal it back from her.
That's a great idea, Hensley.
Right.
But watch your step.
Go on now. Get aboard. I'll take another ship to Jupiter and join you there.
Commander, isn't that Carol over there by gate 12?
Yes. Let's go over and say goodbye to her. It'll explain our presence here in case the thief is watching us.
It's about 15 minutes until the Space Queen blasts off.
Mm-hmm. While we're talking to Carol, we can get a line on the other passengers. Uh-oh. Come this way, Happy. Just saw somebody I'd like to talk to. That fellow with the briefcase.
Who is he, sir?
Rambo. Get on the other side of him in case he tries to make a break. Leaving Terra, Rambo?
Oh, Commander Corey. Yes, Commander. I'm going to Jupiter for the firm.
The firm?
Jupiter Gem Importers. I've been with them for nearly a year now.
I see. I wonder if you'd mind coming with me to the guard office.
Why, is something wrong?
I'd like to ask you a few questions. It'd be less embarrassing in private.
Well, naturally, I have no objections, but the Space Queen is due to blast off in a few minutes.
The ship will be held here until we've finished our checkup. If everything's all right, you'll be aboard, Rambo.
Very well, Commander. I'll come with you.
Would you mind if we examined your luggage?
Certainly not. But, may I ask what you're looking for?
If you have it, you know what I'm looking for. If you don't, it doesn't matter.
Satisfied, Commander?
Well, not quite, Rambo. What did you find out, Happy?
All the luggage has been checked, sir. Nothing.
How about Rambo?
His is okay, too.
All right, Rambo, you can go now.
Well, thank you, Commander. I must say your men have been very thorough.
That's their job. The Space Queen will be blasting off in a few minutes.
Yes. I hope you find what you're after. Whatever that may be.
Well, sir, looks as though we drew a blank on Rambo this time.
Happy, you and I are going to blast off for Jupiter, Terra 5, and see what we can find out about Rambo and his honest business venture.
This is Dolph Rambo on Jupiter calling Burton Henchley aboard private space cruiser J437. Rambo calling Burton Henchley.
Here, go ahead.
Henchley, something's gone wrong.
What do you mean? Where are you?
At the Hotel Juno in Jupiter City.
Did you get the ray detectors?
No, they weren't in Carol's suitcase. I checked right after the luggage was taken off the Space Queen.
But they've got to be. Are you sure you picked the right one?
Yes, but they weren't there. The jewel case was gone.
Now listen, don't get panicky. The girl probably has it. Where is she staying?
At the Olympia Hotel.
Well, I'll be landing at Jupiter City in a few minutes. Just sit tight till I get there. We'll search her room.
Suppose she's in it.
Figure some way to get her out for a while. A fake phone call out to do the trick.
Yeah, but what'll I tell her?
Well, that's your problem. After all, it should be simple for an experienced conman like you.
All right, Henchley. I'll think of something.
Happy? Yes, Commander? You want me to take over the controls?
Oh, no, thanks. Space Control has cleared us for landing. I'll bring her in. I just wanted to tell you that our suspicions of Rambo are well-founded.
Oh? You mean he's the one that slugged our agent and took the ray detector?
He might be. At any rate, this gem importing firm he works for has a dubious reputation. Space Control just relayed some information on it. Jupiter Gem Importers is run by a man named Burton Henchley. Henchley blasted off from Terra right after the Space Queen.
Did they find anything aboard his ship, sir?
No. Henchley was clean. Very likely he was the one who was talking to Rambo at the spaceport.
Well, I wonder why Rambo didn't go with Henchley. If they're both going to Jupiter, they would have saved a fare in the Space Queen. Well, maybe business is so good they don't have to worry about credits.
Well, it could be that Rambo intends to pick out a future victim among the passengers. After we land in Jupiter City, we'll pay Carol a visit and then check up on our gem expert.
This is Carol's room, Henchley, 1209.
Is anybody looking, Rambo?
All clear.
It's locked. We'll have to use the magnet key. In here, quickly. Now, let's get to work. see. We've got about 20 minutes before she realizes that there is no Professor Blackwell who's going to meet her in the Juno Hotel coffee shop.
Pretty good gimmick, wasn't it? When I found out Carol was here to talk at the university, I thought she'd probably fall for something like that.
Yes, very clever. Now let's see if you're clever enough to find a jewel case.
And that suitcase there on the rack. That's the one it's supposed to be in, isn't it?
Yes, but it's been partly unpacked.
See, like I told you, it isn't here.
She must have found it on the ship. Look, they're on the dressing table.
That it?
Oh, it's the case, but the necklace is gone. She's either wearing it or she had it locked up in a hotel wall.
Now, what are we going to do?
Well, we'll have to wait till she gets back.
But I suppose she's turned the jewels over to the Space Patrol.
See if the formula is still in the case. Yeah, it's still here. Well, my guess is she's wearing the necklace. After all, she'd never suspect that some of the gems are really ray detector crystals.
Wait, what's this? Space exam. Look, she started to send a message and was interrupted. To Secretary General Carlisle, Terra.
It's to her father. Dear Dad, what a wonderful surprise. I found the necklace when I opened the suitcase on the ship. You really shouldn't have. It's all the farther she got.
Oh, my phone call at Professor Blackwell interrupted her.
That's a break. Supposing she'd send this spaceogram.
Yeah.
I'll just take this message.
Listen, someone's at the door.
It's probably Carol. We won't get rough unless we have to, but we're going to get her out of here.
Here we are, sir. 1209.
We won't stay very long, Happy. Carol's probably anxious to prepare a speech for the university.
Yeah, and I'm anxious to find out what Rambo and Hinchley are up to.
Carol, it's Buzz and Happy.
Well, didn't the clerk tell you that Carol just got back, sir?
Yeah. Well, she's here, all right. The doors are gone.
Well, maybe she's in another part of the suite unpacking.
I don't think she'd mind if we went in. Carol, are you here? Uh-oh.
What's been going on in here? Chairs are upset, and the things on the dressing table are smashed.
Let's look around. Carol? Carol! Well, she's not in here.
Gee, sir, what do you suppose happened?
Carol's been taken away. By the looks of this room, she wasn't very willing to go. Happy, notify Jupiter City Space Patrol. I'll start questioning the hotel staff.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Say, gang, how's your morning takeoff? Are you blasting off with your jets really roaring? Are you riding your bike like Buzz Corey rides his rocket? I mean with your speedometer smoking like a volcano on Venus. In other words, Space Patrollers, are you supercharged in the morning? Well, here's the way that Commander Corey gets supercharged. He tucks away a power breakfast with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex, the super cereals. Try Rice Chex today. What'll you say? Delicious. And try Wheat Chex today. So swell tasting, you'll eat more and more and more and more. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex, the only cereals in the universe with that modern bite-sized design for easy eating. The only cereals in the universe with a picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside of the package, and the only cereals in the universe with that mysterious magic space picture on the inside of the package. The super cereals that help to supercharge you. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. So, gang, 1, 2, 3. Get ready to blast off to your grocer's forum right after today's Space Patrol adventure. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, the Cosmic Ray Detector. Buzz and Happy are investigating the mysterious disappearance of the Secretary General's daughter, Carol, from her hotel room in Jupiter City. Knowing that Carol's luggage would not be thoroughly searched for the stolen Cosmic Ray Detector crystals, the two thieves, Burton Henchley and Dolph Rambo, had put the crystals in one of Carol's suitcases. They intended to retrieve them before the luggage could be removed from the Jupiter City spaceport to the hotel. But their plan misfired when Carol accidentally discovered the crystals, which the thieves had disguised by working them into an expensive-looking necklace. While Happy examined Carol's hotel room for clues, Commander Corey has finished interrogating the hotel staff.
Find anything, Happy?
No, sir. Maybe one of the lab experts could make something out of these smudged fingerprints. I can't.
2 technicians are on their way over now. I finally located a maid that's pretty sure she saw Carol. She was with 2 men. They were going down the rear stairs.
Did she say Carol was struggling?
According to the maid, she didn't appear to be. Of course, they could have held a ray gun on her. The maid thought it was strange they didn't take the elevator.
Well, here's one thing I found. It may not mean much, sir, but it was in the wastebasket. Here it is. It was all wadded up.
A spaceogram. Carol's father.
She must have decided to rewrite it. It isn't finished.
Dearest Dad, I opened my suitcase on the ship to get a book to read, and there was this beautiful necklace. I was so surprised. Necklace?
That could be a motive, all right.
Someone in the ship may have seen it.
Rambo.
Possibly. Rambo doesn't win for strong-arm method. Besides, taking the necklace would be one thing, but forcing Carol to go with him, that's something else.
Maybe she didn't have the necklace with her, and the crook was making her take him to where it was.
But where else would it be? Carol just arrived here. It would be here in a room or in the hotel vault. I'll check with the manager. A phone call, I wonder.
Phone call?
The desk clerk said a Professor Blackwell of the university called Carol shortly after she checked in. She told the clerk she'd be back in an hour, but came back much earlier. Happy, let's get over to headquarters.
Yes, sir.
We'll check with the university on Professor Blackwell, and then I'll space-phone the Secretary General for a description of that necklace.
Rambo, I'll let you out here. Go to the spaceport and get clearance for our ship to blast off.
What about Carol?
I'll take care of her. Take her to the lab till I hear from you.
You're going to leave her there till somebody finds her?
No, we'll get her aboard the ship. Once we get her out in space, nobody will find her. And if they do, she won't be able to tell them anything. All right, Rambo. Get out and hurry to the spaceport.
Are you sure you can handle it? And drive, too?
Yeah, if she gives me any trouble, the paralyzer ray will quiet her down. I'll get going.
All right, Henry. I'll call you at the lab.
It's only a few blocks to the jewelry lab, Carol, so don't make it difficult for yourself.
I don't understand why you're forcing me to come with you. You could have tied me up in the hotel room and gotten away with the necklace.
Of course. And within an hour, you have the Space Patrol looking for us.
All right.
Take your hands off that wheel. Stop it. You idiot. You. And now, see what you've done. You. Come back here. Get back in this car.
Thanks, God.
Come back here. Come back.
I just checked with the university, sir. There's no Professor Blackwell on the staff, and nobody there knew that Carol had arrived on Jupiter.
Then that call was designed to get Carol out of her room while they searched for the necklace. I've talked to the Secretary General. He didn't give Carol that necklace.
Well, then who did?
I don't think it was ever intended that Carol find it. It was smuggled into a suitcase back on Terra.
By Rambo?
Or his partner. They figured that Carol's luggage wouldn't be searched.
Yeah, but it was searched, sir.
It was a clever trick. They simply wanted to get the jewelry through.
Certainly. No one would suspect the Secretary General's daughter of having jewelry that wasn't hers.
But here's the important thing, Happy. Rambo is supposedly a messenger for a legitimate gem importer. Why couldn't he openly carry jewelry?
Hey, that's right, sir.
Unless something else was being passed off as jewelry.
The ray detector crystals.
Right. Perhaps the stolen formula. I'll get it, Hap. Maybe for Captain Raymond. He's using Major Young's office temporarily. Commander Corey here.
Commander, this is Carol.
Carol, where are you?
I'm in the Jupiter Arcade building at Public Communications Booth 27.
Are you all right?
Yes. I managed to get away from Rambo and Henchley. They're planning to blast off from Jupiter in Henchley's private cruiser.
Are they at the spaceport now?
Rambo is. Henchley's somewhere near. I managed to cause an accident with his surface car.
All right, Carol. You stay right there in the arcade building. Happy and I'll be right over to pick you up. Come on, Happy. Let's get going.
Expecting someone, miss?
Henchley.
Don't spread any alarm, Miss Carol. I got something here that's more painful than a paralyzer ray. Now, quietly to my car. Rambo should have my ship ready by now.
I've looked all over the arcade, Commander. She's not here.
You checked the communication booth?
Yes, sir, and the cafe.
Told her to stay right here.
Maybe she saw Henchley or Rambo.
That's what has me worried.
Oh, but they wouldn't find anything here in this crowd.
If they suspect that Carol called me, that's just enough to try anything. Get into our surface car, Happy. We're going to the spaceport.
Now you see, Miss Carol, that break for freedom didn't do you a bit of good.
Yes. We're hundreds of TUs out of Jupiter now.
Where are you taking me?
Well, your part of the trip is just about over. We have to get rid of you. It's regret.
Hensley, look at the rear view scope. Huh? Looks like something's coming after us.
Space ship. Increase the sensitivity. Let's see if we can identify it.
It's a Space Patrol battle cruiser.
Commander Corey.
Now, I am glad I brought you along. Corey won't dare fire on us now.
Commander Corey aboard Terra 5, calling Hensley and Rambo aboard private cruiser J437. Commander Corey to Hensley and Rambo.
What are we going to do?
That's Corey's problem. Let him worry about it.
Corey to Hensley and Rambo. I'm right behind you. Stand by to be boarded.
Here, I'll talk to him. Hensley to Corey. Let me give you some advice. Turn around and go back and keep the rest of your space patrol away from us. We got Gerald Carlisle aboard.
I'm giving you a chance to surrender, Hensley. Better play it smart.
Corey, if you come any closer, we're going to push Miss Carlisle out into space without a spacesuit. I thought that would pull you off. Rambo, stop her. She's running back out.
Hey, you come back here.
Rambo, grab her quickly.
I'm warning you, we mean business. Come out of that compartment. Open up, you little fool. Open up or I'll break the door down.
Rambo, did you get her?
She locked herself in the compartment. What are we going to do now?
The only thing you can do is give up. You can't harm Carol now. Well, what's your answer?
All right, Corey. You win. We'll cut our velocity and stand by to be boarded.
I'm coming up to join airlocks.
Check. Hensley out.
You'd cut off the space phone, Corey. I'd never known we couldn't carry out our threat.
We're not through yet, but I want Corey to think so.
Yeah, but what can we do now?
Listen, get a couple of high-powered Atamo lights. Rig them up so they're focused on the inner head.
Atamo?
Yeah. Stand in front of them. Then when Corey comes through the hedge, step aside. Before he can recover from the glare, we'll take care of him for sure.
Join airlocks, Commander. Stand by with magnetic holding field.
Standing by.
Airlock secured. Apply holding field. All right, Happy. Into the airlock.
Yes, sir. You think they'll try anything, sir?
We're going to be prepared just in case they do. Have your ray gun?
Yes, sir.
All right. Open the outer hatch. Now into their airlock. I'll go first.
You got us, Commander, with our hands up.
Yes. You can put those guns away.
Because you can see.
Happy, the light.
My eyes. Let them have it, Rambo.
I got the cadet.
Oh, yeah? Where are you, you coward? Up
right here.
I can just see where you were so I could get my hands on you.
Where are you, Hap?
Over here, sir.
Then this must be Hensley.
Hang on, Happy, I'm coming. Thanks, sir, but I think this will do it.
Nice going.
Oh. For a while there, I thought they had us.
That was close, all right.
Happy, are you all right?
Yes, Carol, and you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, Commander, here's the necklace. I found it in Hinchley's pocket.
Oh, good. Hang on to it.
Hey, but which ones are the ray detector crystals?
We'll let the lab experts figure it out.
Oh, Buzz, look at the time. How long will it take us to get back to Jupiter?
I don't know exactly. About an hour. Why?
If we don't hurry, I'll be late for my lecture at the university.
Oh, fine. She was pretty nearly thrown out in space, and now she's worried about the lecture.
What's your subject for the lecture, Carol?
Government service. A job with security.
Security, she says.
A preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Hey, gang, imagine the fun of owning a model rocket that shows pictures on the wall. Imagine the fun of owning a rocket you can use as a signal light and also as a flashlight. Well, the new Space Patrol Pocket Projectoscope does all these things. Yes, sir, it's a film projector, signal light, and a flashlight all in one. Nothing like it on the face of the Earth before. It comes with a real strip of film for showing pictures on the wall. And, gang, wait till you see what those pictures are. 4 complete Space Patrol adventures with Buzz Corey and Cadet Happy. Listen to these titles. Space Pirate, Men from Mars, Robot Invasion, Mighty Missile. Don't they sound terrific? You bet. And just think, gang, you can show these complete Space Patrol adventures on your wall. You just slip the film in your projectoscope, darken the room, push the radar antenna, and there on the wall you have it, a real picture. So, gang, don't wait not a single day. Send for this wonderful new Space Patrol Pocket Projectoscope just as soon as you can. Remember, it's a film projector, it's a signal light, it's a flashlight, all in one. A 6-inch blue and yellow plastic model of Buzz Corey's own rocket ship. and it comes to you complete with bulb, battery, and film. To get a projectoscope, buy a box of Rice Chex or Wheat Chex, the cereals that bring you the magic space picture. Then, with your name and address, send 35 cents in coin and a Rice Chex or Wheat Chex box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. This offer good in the USA only, and may be withdrawn at any time. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are in an underground passage deep beneath Saturn City, attempting to capture a plutonium thief, Victor Drumlin. Drumlin has reversed the atmosphere pumps and is drawing deadly methane gas from Saturn's atmosphere into the lower levels. Protected by a shielded hideout, Drumlin refuses to surrender.
That methane gas isn't going to stop us, Drumlin. We can break that door down before it reaches this level.
That door is built to shield against an explosion, Corey. The kind you're going to hear in a moment.
What does he mean, Commander? He's bluffing, Happy. Methane isn't explosive.
It is when it's mixed with ordinary air and ignited. Listen!
What's that, Commander? He's turned on the generators, Happy. If he overloads them, he'll ignite the gas and blow up Saturn City.
Be sure to be with us next Saturday for the exciting story, The Secret of Sub-Level 7, when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston again bring you Space Patrol! Special bulletin for boys and girls in Dayton, Ohio and Baltimore, Maryland. Buzz Corey's own space battle cruiser, the Ralston Rocket, will be in your area next week. Don't miss it. A Ralston Rocket. Space Patrol, an original Mike Moser production starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston and directed by Larry Robertson. Other players were Bela Kovac, Ken Mayer, and Virginia Hewitt. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston again present the new exciting Space Patrol. And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television.